Welcome to episode 6 of Tumbling Podcast of Flesh. This is Corey's Crypt.
This is BDG Reviews.
And we decided to do kind of like what would we call it, a heavy metal episode or something?
I think that would probably be the best definition, yeah.
Yeah, we're reviewing, the main review is Strangeland and 31.
Yep.
But we'll get into that at the end. And before we hit record, we were talking about it coming out, which I think we've talked about on every episode now.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest thing. But
yeah.
Let's just hop into news right now with that.
Okay.
So the first thing of I wrote down was that It preview for Annabelle Creation.
Yeah.
Now, like, you've seen the whole thing. How long is this clip? Is it like 2 minutes probably?
It's about 4 minutes.
Oh, okay. And what is it? Just the sewer scene?
It's pretty much just the scene at the beginning where Georgie runs into the Ballard thing and knocks his head on it, and then his boat goes down, and then he talks to Pennywise.
Yeah, how's his voice, though, when he's talking?
I found that it worked, you know? Well, for one, it didn't have that, like, New York accent or whatever,
gangster accent.
Yeah, and it sounded like, almost like, how can I put it? It sounded like a voice like a little kid would gravitate to.
Yeah.
You know? It's creepy for an adult to see it, but I could see why a little kid would be taken in.
Yeah. I just saw a kind of a new teaser today they released, because they seem to release like 5 of them a day.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, like, I'm serious, though. After today, I'm done watching clips on it, because I want some of it to be a surprise to me, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
And, but in the scene, it shows Pennywise, like, actually walking down the sewer pipe or whatever. He's actually walking, and it looks pretty good.
That's good. I mean, I'm just getting more and more hyped every passing day.
Yeah, I know. It's so close. I mean, today's the 27th. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm hyped.
Yeah, not
I'm
far
super
off.
hyped. And then that week we're going to do the It special, because we're going to review the 1990 miniseries.
Yep, I've been looking forward to watching that again.
Yeah, I've been wanting to rewatch it again too. I've been saving it for the new one.
Yeah.
But I think we have a week to fill, before the It episode. So, have you seen your Cat's Eye Blu-ray yet?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
You want to do that one then?
I don't know. I was thinking, how about Salem's Lot, since we lost Toby Hooper today?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably the biggest piece of news in the whole thing.
Yeah, it just seems kind of, like, apt, if you will, you know?
Yeah, that actually is perfect. What's weird, though, about that whole Toby Hooper thing is, remember he was in the news a few weeks ago because his girlfriend, like, beat him up or something?
Yeah, I seem to remember something about that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I'm curious to see the news on it and stuff.
Yeah, and it's odd also, because, I mean, he was 74.
Yeah.
Now let's be honest. Nowadays, 74 isn't old.
No, not really.
No, I mean, in a time when people are usually living into their late 80s, early 90s, sometimes up into their hundreds, 74 is pretty, that's a bit young.
Did you read what he died of, or no?
No, from what I know, they haven't actually announced it.
Yeah,
they've just said, like, he died, and, like, that's all the information they've really given us.
Yeah, that was a huge shock.
It's crazy
how many people are dying.
I know. It's like we're losing all the old guard, if you will. Yeah. I mean, who's left? I mean, we got John Carpenter.
We got Willem Friedkin.
Yeah.
He's not really a legend. I mean, he is, but he isn't. As far as, like, big Lloyd Kaufman...
Yeah.
that'll be a big deal when he passes. Well, for the horror community.
Yeah. Well, hell, for independent cinema as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, Charles Band, but as far as, like, major people, Sam Raimi,
Yeah. Yeah, we were kind of starting to lose all the old ones, and it's a damn shame, because really, with the exception of James Wan, do we really have anyone who's stepping up and being the next, like George Romero or the next.
I think Eli Roth will go down as one of the greats.
I could see that. Yeah.
Rob Zombie, I think, will too. He has a lot of haters, but he'll go down. T. West, if he if he does like one or two more horror films, I could see it.
Yeah.
Adam Wingard, I think in quite a few years he'll be considered.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, there's another death I wrote down, though, that was surprising to me. You probably don't know. You ever heard of Sonny Landham?
Yeah, the guy from Predator.
Predator and the Warriors and stuff.
I know. That was a shock to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was someone I haven't thought about, though.
No, me neither.
But it was weird.
You know, that was one of those things. It was just kind of like, wow, he's dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's the thing with getting older. People like you saw as like a kid on movies and everything start going.
Yeah. And, the one before that too, nothing to do with horror, but Jay Thomas from Cheers and stuff died too. So, but anyways.
and Jerry Lewis the other day as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem to happen in like clusters. Have you noticed that?
I've noticed that, and
there'll be like a long break, and then 5 will go. Long break, and another 5.
Yeah. Well, I saw someone write on Twitter. They said, just as long as Stephen King doesn't go, he goes, if Stephen King goes, I'm going. Yeah. It's like, I can't live in a world without Stephen King.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think he has quite a bit of time left, though.
Oh, I'm sure, and I mean, he seems pretty healthy, you know?
Yeah, and it's like Tobe Hooper. I mean, you never really saw him doing much. I mean, you heard stuff about him, but you never really saw him. But you see Stephen King everywhere now. I mean,
yeah, you do, and like I said, he seems to be in pretty good health.
Yeah,
nothing really seems to bothering him that way.
One cool thing about Stephen King, though, that I heard on the radio the other day is, I guess he's doing some, I don't know exactly what it is. It's something with Joe Hill. I don't know if they're writing a book or what they're doing, but it's something they're doing together, or like a Q&A.
That would be kind of neat.
It's in Sarasota, Florida, where I live.
Wow. That's cool.
I heard him saying, though, it's at like a public library, and you gotta like reserve seats and all that.
I always, stuff like that always kind of annoys me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
and you gotta wait till the Friday before is the day you gotta reserve them, and I'm debating on it. If I can get a seat, I'll obviously go, because it'd be cool to meet both of them.
Yeah, I always remember back in the day when it used to be like if there was like a book signing, you just go.
Well, that's what it usually is, because he lives in Sarasota, right?
Does he?
He has a house, 15, cool. 20 minutes away.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, you could never get up to it, but...
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you'd probably be, shot dead before you got anywhere near by security.
Yeah, I think he has, big gates and a huge driveway and everything.
Yeah. Well, when you're, one of the number one selling authors in the world,
They say Stephen King is the top-selling author of all time.
I believe it. I mean, his books haven't always been great.
Yeah, they say 1 in 3 households in America has a Stephen King book.
Oh, I believe it. I'd go even further. I'd go probably every household has, even something that they don't realize is Stephen King.
Yeah. A movie or something on them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Stand By Me or something.
Yeah, I'm sure Stephen King is in every household in the world.
Oh, yeah.
One way or another, except for maybe the caves in Afghanistan where the terrorists live or something.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. He might be there too.
Yeah, he's like an idol though. If I do end up going, I'm going to try my hardest to get him to sign that It Blu-ray.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because I remember remember when he came out with that book about the assassination of JFK? It was called 11/22/69 or whatever.
Yeah.
That he came to a Barnes and Noble in Sarasota, and he was signing or whatever. But I'd heard about it a week after it had happened. But I was reading on the site that it said he'll only be signing that book. It says you can't bring other stuff for him to sign, and I was like, well, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, of course that's the thing from bookstores, right? They're like, we'll get them to come in to get the signing, and we'll get them to buy the book too.
Well, that's the whole point of it, to buy the book and they'll sign it. But I always wondered, like, if you did buy the book, get the store their sale. I wonder if you brought it, if he'd sign it or what.
I would think so. I mean, I know some authors do. Like I know I got a signature from Clive Barker a long time ago, and
you got
there was
his signature.
Yeah, it was when Sacrament came out. I went to the signing and got that. But there were people.
What's Sacrament?
It's about like this. Honestly, I've never read the book. I've got it on my shelf, and I don't want to read it because it's signed. I just kind of want to leave it there, and maybe I'll pick up a paperback. I think it's about like a guy that has like AIDS or something, and like something's going on. He's living in the woods or something.
Yeah, I don't think I heard of that one.
Yeah, well, I got that signed, but there was someone quite a bit in front of me, and he bought the hardback of that like I did, and then he had about 7 or 8 paperbacks.
Oh, wow. Do you know if he actually sat there and signed all 8?
Oh, yeah. He signed every one.
Yeah.
I mean, he talked to the guy the whole time and everything. It was pretty neat, really.
So you actually met him?
Yeah.
Oh,
nice guy.
That would be awesome, man.
Yeah, like I said, it was a long time ago. I can't even remember when Sacrament came out. I think it was like, let me just check. Clive Barker... Sacrament. Okay. Here we go. 1996.
That's when you met him?
Yeah, well, I originally published 95, so I met him in 95.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I have that, if I knew he was coming, I would have had that, had him sign that Arrow Hellraiser box.
Oh yeah, that'd be like awesome.
Yeah, because I already got Doug Bradley's autograph on it.
So
I get Clive Barker.
I really like Clive Barker. I think he's one of the the best horror writers around.
What's weird is he's like one of my favorite horror authors, but I haven't read a whole lot. I've read like all those books of Bloods.
Yeah,
because I put them in like one big edition I have, and they were all really good. And then one called The Damnation Game that was really good.
I love The Damnation Game, yeah.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. And then, so I think it was called Mr. Be Gone or something.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Be Gone. I remember reading that. I got that when it came out, and I just remember thinking it was such a unique idea.
Yeah, it was like a demon's journal or something.
That it was literally, like you were literally reading the main character.
Yeah.
He was the book you're reading. I thought that was just so... so different. Yeah,
it was. He's definitely cool, but I still got to put Stephen King up there, though.
Oh, yeah. I think, Stephen King's just got such a huge, amount of work.
Oh, I know.
Like, I bet you could go 2-3 years, and if you read a Stephen King book, like, every month sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you could go maybe 2 years without ever reading the same thing twice.
Yeah. What's funny, too, is the other night I was laying down, I was going to start listening to the audiobook.
Yeah.
And I'm laying down, I turn it on, and the reader or whatever, he's reading, like, all the credits, and he's even going as far as to, like, read the synopsis before he starts the book.
Oh, that's
Then he even flips the page, and it's, like, other works by Stephen King. And,
he read that?
Yeah, for, like, 10 minutes, he's just listing all the titles. It'll be, like, nonfiction, Danse Macabre. And it's like, it's like, oh, my God. I just turned it off. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pushing it a bit. I mean,
yeah, he was reading every word that showed up in that.
Oh, well, I tell you one thing that was kind of cool. Have you ever seen, it was on the what's it called? The Anchor Bay Blu-ray of Hellraiser. And I don't know whether it's on the Arrow one, but they have, it was some documentary or whatever, and during it they have, Doug Bradley reading from the original novel.
Of what,
of the Hellbound
Heart?
And it's awesome.
Really? Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, yeah.
I never picked up the Anchor Bay Blu-ray.
Yeah, it might be on the Arrow one as well. I'm not sure. But yeah, all it is like they're talking about the movie and everything. It's just intercut, and there's just you just hear Doug Bradley and he's just reading from the book, and it's just so awesome. He's got one of those voices, you know.
It may be on the Arrow set. I mean, there's so many discs of special features that
Yeah,
it'd be a little hard to get through them all.
yeah. I'll have to take a look on my Arrow Blu-ray and see what the special
Tell me
features.
what it's called, because
yeah,
I'm sure it
it's
would be
really
the same
cool to
title.
hear. Yeah, it's not the whole book; it's just little parts of it. But it's neat. It's neat to hear him reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's before we move on from Tobe Hooper, what's your favorite Tobe Hooper movie?
That's a bit of a tough one because I love Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
But I also like the first Toolbox Murders.
Oh yeah.
And I also like this is going to get.
Well, you
me
know, it's actually a remake. Tobe Hooper's is a remake.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what you meant though by the first one?
No. Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant like the.
Because there was one I think way back in the '60s or something.
Yeah, I meant like the '90s one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this last one though can get me in trouble with people because a lot of people really hate this movie, and that's Mortuary.
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it, and I could picture the cover art.
You can find it in the bargain bins literally for about $2.
Is that in Canada?
That's in Canada here, so I'm guessing over there you're looking maybe 99 cents or something.
Wow.
For the Blu-ray. And
where do you find that at?
Walmart.
And it's called Mortuary.
Yeah. And
what's the cover look like?
It's kind of like a yellowy orange cover, and it's got like someone's like sort of their eye.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to look. For some reason, I remember like a purplish cover with like a gravestone or something, or is there like a hand coming out or something?
It might be. I mean, like I said, it's a bargain bin title now, so
they may have like a new cover on it though, like they did with Near Dark and stuff.
Yeah, I tell you what though, it's got one of the funniest lines I've ever heard in a movie. This guy's talking to this woman, and he says, you know, he's talking about people going into the graveyards at night and fooling around, and he says, like we need your help. Only you can prevent graveyard babies. And I just thought, I heard that line, and I was just like, yes, I like this movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's not great by any means, but it's a fun flick. It really is.
Yeah. With Tobe Hooper, I definitely got to go with obviously the first Texas Chainsaw. But
I totally forgot about that. How did I not say that?
I really like Life Force too.
Oh, Life Force is amazing.
And
that's one of those movies that doesn't get enough credit.
No.
Yeah.
It's there's one movie though that I have never heard of until today when people were posting about it. It was called like what the heck was it called? Tobe Hooper's Night Terrors.
Oh, that's very familiar.
The cover looked awesome, man, but I think it's a case of it was only on VHS.
Oh yeah, that
kind of
could
like
definitely
Grim
be the
Prairie
case.
Tales or something, you know?
That
was only on VHS.
Yeah, I'm just checking right now.
I know the cover it may have a DVD release. I hope it does because the cover looks sweet.
Oh yeah! Wow, that does look kind of cool.
Is the cover you're looking at like a woman and her eyes are something else?
Yeah, her eyes are like mouths and like something coming out of them, and wow, that does. Oh, and let me look here.
Is there a DVD release of it?
I don't know. Let me just check Amazon. Yes, it helps if I spell it right.
Yeah, it's like a case of... Remember that one movie? There's a movie I really want to see called Necronomicon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Lovecraft one, right?
Yeah, that's only available on VHS, though.
Yeah. Well, let's see. You can rent it on Amazon Video, Tobe Hooper's Night Terrors. I can't really see anything about a Blu-ray or a DVD.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever available on DVD.
Yeah, it might. Well, if there's the Amazon Video, there probably is a somewhere in the world. Oh no, here we go. Night Terrors DVD. You can get it from $13.88, new and used.
Really?
I don't know where it comes from though.
I was gonna say, is it Region 1?
Let's see here.
I'm gonna have to step up to a Region free player soon.
Yeah, they're worth it. Yeah, I think this is a Region 2. Yeah, Region 2.
On the Region free players, you just pop in any Region disc and it'll fire right up.
It depends on the player. The one I have what is it, a Toshiba one. Any DVD you put in will just play, no problem.
Yeah.
When it comes to Blu-rays, if you want Region like B, you have to press 2.
Oh, okay.
You want Region C, you have to press 3.
Does it give you the what's the word I'm looking for? Directions, though, usually when you get it, like what to press for what region?
Usually, well, depending on where you get it from and everything. Usually they send a little quick guide type thing,
Yeah. There's a site, though, that I heard about. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but people say it's a trusted site, so...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where I got mine from, because the one I got, it was quite reasonable, and and it's a good player, and I think I got it for about like $110 or something, I think.
Yeah, I'm expecting to pay around $150 for it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm waiting for a really slow month first, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a month where there's not a lot of releases coming out that I want to get.
Yeah. I hear you.
Which doesn't seem to be soon, but it'll happen eventually.
Yeah. Because it's the sort of thing.
Christmas is coming up soon, so if I don't get it before Christmas, I'll get it there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely worth owning. I mean, just because, honestly, within about 6 months of buying it,
yeah,
it's paid for itself.
Yeah,
because
and it just opens. You can go on Diabolic DVD and buy anything.
Yeah,
that's what I love too. Because when I go on it, half the site I can't do anything with.
Yeah, and and the real annoying thing is when you see something that you've been after.
Oh yeah.
And then you see it at like a really good price, and then you're like, oh, it's it's a foreign release. I can't play it, and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah, and Arrow UK releases a lot of stuff that I like. That Texas Chainsaw 2 set they had.
Oh, that was beautiful. That? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice looking set.
The Scream Factory edition's cool too, but that Arrow set's beautiful.
It is.
I would have got their Phantasm set, but it was Region 2.
Yeah, and I mean that's actually still quite reasonable for that.
And that extra sent me a picture of. What's the deal? I know it's region locked, but is that available, and how much is it?
Yeah, from what I know, that's I think it's like, I know it's like limited. I mean, I'm just gonna bring up the picture and have a look at it. Let's see here. Come on, open up. Let's see. 5-disc collector set. Comes with all this stuff. I can't see a price or anything, but I know this particular release is limited.
Yeah. I know there's a Hostile one coming out to some country.
Oh, yeah?
Where it has, the cover of the dude with wearing that, like, metal pig mask type thing.
Yeah.
It's that. And I know, Japan or something's did release those 2 Evil Dead ones.
Those are really nice looking.
Yeah, I like
releases.
both of them.
I tell you what, I've been looking for the remake version from Japan, but honestly, I can't find it.
Really?
I can find it on their site, but I can't really find anyone that will ship it over here.
Have you seen that Wishmaster one? I think they showed a picture of it in Rue Morgue or Horror Hound.
Oh, that big huge thing?
It's a bust of the Djinn.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that thing's sick.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh wow, that's actually not bad at all. It's 87.99 euro.
For the extra?
Yeah.
And
It
is
comes
it
with,
available now?
it's available for pre-order. It comes out in 4 days.
I wonder if it'll sell out.
I don't know because
That's a movie I would never hear anybody talk about, though. You know.
I know. I think it's one of those ones. It's really popular in places like Germany and everything. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it looks to be limited to 500.
Ooh, that's all, not that many at all.
And it comes with a soundtrack, 35 millimeter, like a still from the movie, T-shirt. I don't know what that says because I can't speak German, and looks to be some kind of like a figure of something, and it's 5 discs.
Wow.
And one looks to be a record.
That's cool. I just got a record player not too long ago, so
That's cool. I mean, it definitely seems like it's going to be a pretty solid release, definitely.
I've never even seen the movie, but that bust looked awesome.
Yeah, I saw Extra years ago, but the thing is
that an English movie?
From what I know, it's yeah.
Because I think I've heard of it, or I've seen the cover of it somewhere.
Yeah, I rented it a long time ago, back when there were video stores. I rented it on VHS. But the thing is that I know I think there's like 3 or 4 different cuts of the movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's very popular in Europe. Because when you look at Blu-ray.com, it's there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different versions.
Different Blu-ray versions.
Yeah, and I think 7 of them are from Germany.
Yeah, it's funny. The U.S. probably don't have a single one.
I don't think there is. Let me just take a look. It says there's a British one from Second Sight. Extra. Yeah, it just looks to be Britain and Germany.
Oh, okay.
It's the sort of thing.
Yeah, 500 is way too small of a number. It'll for sure sell out by the time I go to order it, so I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing, you have to jump on right away.
Yeah. It seems to be like a big thing, though, are these busts, which I like it. I just want America to get on the boat here.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, over here in Canada and America, we've always been kind of more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Simple or something?
Well, yeah, like over here, you'll get, like, a one maybe 2 disc set of something,
Yeah.
And you'll get, and that's kind of like about it,
Or you'll get a soundtrack too.
Yeah, that's really kind of it. Where like over in other countries, they go all out.
Yeah, they're giving figures, posters, all this stuff with it.
Oh, I found that site that I got my Blu-ray player from. It was 220electronics.com.
Yeah, you'll have to send me that link after the podcast.
Yeah, it's like $115 for like a Sony all-region player.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get one by Christmas.
Yeah, you can actually get also. They have a 3D Blu-ray with 4K for $169.
Wow.
That's actually quite reasonable.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow, they have something $99.
I don't want to get the cheapest of the cheap, though,
No.
I'm like the kind of person where there's the cheapest of the cheap, I'll get the step with a one step above it,
Yeah.
Like if there's one for 99 and one for 120, I'll feel better just getting the 121,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It makes it feel a little better, like knowing you can get the cheapest of the cheap.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the cheap ones are fine.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't want to skimp on something that you use a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think of like HDMI cables and stuff, though?
They work.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, do you ever skimp on them though, or no? Or do you think the quality is in the money there?
Honestly, I've bought maybe two.
Yeah.
And honestly, I usually just use what come with it. Like,
Yeah,
I got one that came with my Xbox, and I just still use it. You
yeah,
know?
that and my cable company usually gives them out when they come hook cable up.
Yeah, yeah. Though, admitted though, one time I did buy an expensive one. We were having some problems with our Blu-ray player upstairs, and the cord, so we got one with like the gold.
Did it make a difference or
thing.
not at all?
It made a difference. Once we plugged it in, everything worked fine. Wasn't any more static on the screen or anything. So it might have just been a faulty cable we had to begin with, but it was.
So what was the static looking like? Just white?
Yeah,
flashes
it was like
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was weird, so we got a new cord. It actually wasn't that much. I mean, even with the gold and everything, I think it was about like $15.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on with
yeah.
this news, though, and then we'll get into releases. I wanted
Okay.
to finish off that It thing. Like, they're pushing this movie so heavy, it's insane. Like, have you seen, they're previewing that Float VR experience?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Doesn't it? That's, like, one of those things that makes me wish I had a VR headset.
Yeah. I mean, I have, like, a cheap little thing that came with, the last Megadeth album.
It came with thing?
Yeah, like a little cardboard virtual reality thing. You can barely get it to work, but it's the sort of thing. It would be neat to have like a proper VR thing.
Because there's just going to be more to come,
Oh, definitely.
I love that though. These movies putting out little tiny things like that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to get one.
Yeah.
They're so expensive though.
They are. That's the problem. I mean, they got the ones, like I said, like the one I got where you can put like your phone in it.
Oh yeah.
But it's not real. It's not real VR. It's just kind of like
a phone real close up to your eyes.
Yeah, and when you turn your head, it does move and stuff. But it's just not. It's not proper VR.
Yeah, this one and Resident Evil 7 is what makes me want to get VR.
Yeah.
But one last thing about this It thing. Like I said, they're promoting this more than any movie I've seen recently. Like I said, little tiny trailers coming out every day. There's trailers for the trailers.
Yeah.
And then they just put out a mini game for your phone where you play as Georgie's boat. It's like it's like, geez,
Well, what did you do for the last hour? Oh, I was a boat.
This is when I read that, I started laughing. But
yeah.
I read they're projecting this thing to be like the biggest horror hit in a long time. Like they're thinking 60 million in the first day or weekend or whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty much a guaranteed hit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's Stephen King.
But would you have thought that though for Dark Tower too?
I would have thought so, but
I guess it's not as big as It.
Well, I don't know. Probably if they'd actually done the book.
Yeah, but I thought just name recognition alone, I thought that movie was going to be a hit for sure, regardless.
Yeah, the problem I found with it, I went and saw it about a week or so ago. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a good little fantasy movie.
Yeah.
And I liked all the Easter eggs.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, but it didn't feel like a Stephen King story.
Yeah, it seemed real. I don't know. It didn't seem too good to me.
No, like I said, it was okay.
Read the books or nothing.
Me neither. Maybe if I'd read the books, it would have been something more special. But it was just kind of, like I said, it was an okay fantasy movie.
Yeah, that's the thing though too. I'm not a big fan of like Stephen King when he's not horror, you know?
I know,
Like,
he tends
Stand
to...
By Me is okay, Shawshank Redemption is okay, and The Green Mile, but realistically, I mean, I just want horror when I'm associating it with Stephen King, you know?
And he does it so good, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You know,
besides his one directorial effort,
yeah,
Maximum Overdrive. I still want a good Blu-ray release of that, though.
So do I, because that could be, like, especially if you didn't, with the features and everything, if you didn't take yourself too seriously.
And get an audio commentary with Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, there you go.
And to be honest, it'd be really cool to have Does Stephen King have any audio commentaries on any of his releases?
I think so. I think they have him on The Stand.
Really?
Yeah, I seem to remember him being on the first half of The Stand. I say the first half because the second half no one really talked for some reason. Yeah,
I want to see that movie again soon because it's been years and years and years.
Yeah, it's one of those ones I could see a Blu-ray coming out pretty soon.
You know what bugs me about Stephen King movies though?
What?
Is how they redone every single one of them with new covers.
Oh yeah.
Like The Stand and Storm of the Century and Langoliers, they all have a certain cover that are just memorable. And now they just have those cheap photoshopped. Now I think the cover of The Stand is just a picture of a desert, like a crow or something.
Yeah.
When you remember it had like a double... Remember it was real thick? The original DVD release, and it just said The Stand, and it had...
Yeah. It was simple, but it worked.
Yeah, it was in that same packaging as like The Doors.
Yeah.
It was like two snapper things that...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was great. And one thing what always pissed me off a lot of time was when they re-released Graveyard Shift.
Oh, yeah.
Graveyard Shift had that awesome poster.
With the miner hat.
I loved that poster. Yeah. I loved it so much. And then they put it as just a bunch of rats.
Right? Yeah.
And it's like, well, I get it.
It's more close to the movie, but the original poster was a lot better.
Yeah, it was just like an iconic poster. They should have just kept that, you know? And same with Pet Sematary.
Yeah, they like I said, they butchered every single one of the covers for his movies.
Yeah.
The only one they haven't done it with is It, thank God, but...
Yeah, I think honestly...
still has the same one. But...
I think honestly with Cat's Eye and It, I think there's not enough high-res material out there to even do a crappy Photoshop of.
Yeah, that... And
so I think they just stick with what they got, you know?
Yeah. They should have done that with all the other ones, though, too.
Yeah, well, that's good for people like me who make custom covers, you know. I got my Pet Sematary one has the original, remember the like white and blue cover?
With the dude's face on it?
Yeah, I got that cover.
Oh, do you have the Blu-ray cover where it's the cat on the gravestone or whatever?
That's what it came with, and I was just like, no.
Yeah, that cover's garbage.
Yeah, you know, it's the sort of it's I don't want to say lazy production, but I think they know that the people are going to buy it.
Yeah, just because the name.
So just throw on anything that they feel like, you know? It could even be something along the lines of like, well, we don't want to pay the person that did the original artwork, so we'll just throw something else on.
Yeah. That would actually, that's probably it.
Yeah.
But this next piece of news is, I read that Godzilla King of Monsters started filming a few days ago.
Oh, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, so you're digging the new kaiju resurgence?
I've always been like a Godzilla fan.
Yeah.
From back in the day, I used to remember watching like Terror of Mechagodzilla when I was a little kid, when it would come on TV and just eating it up. What I like about the new ones though is they're going darker.
Yeah.
Like when you watch the American Godzilla remake, you know, the legendary one, that's a hell of a dark movie, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I saw that and I was kind of whatever about it. I wasn't too hyped on it. And I haven't even seen Kong Skull Island yet, so.
Kong Skull Island is really good.
Yeah.
And actually, I wish the director said there was a scene he was originally going to put in. And what it was going to be, it was going to open with these people coming to the island, and then this large gorilla shows up that happened to look a lot like the one from the Peter Jackson version.
Oh, yeah.
And they kill it. So they're there, and they're looking around it, and then the new Kong comes out, and he's about, like 2 or 3 times the size.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that would have been such an epic opening. They didn't go with it, though.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good flick, I got to admit.
I'll check it out. I'm just never too big on that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I find kaiju stuff can be a little bit hit or miss.
Yeah.
When done right, can be very enjoyable. But when done wrong, can really be just plain cheesy.
Yeah, that's the problem I have. I like cheese, but even that, it's not good.
There's cheese, but then there's good cheese and bad cheese, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this next thing that Ibon Press, who's been doing all the Blue Underground stuff, they've been putting out the comic series of Maniac and Zombie and Beyond. They just announced they're putting they actually said badass limited edition posters of all 3 of them. So if they put out a really sick, cool Maniac poster, I may have to get it, man.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of, keeping everything alive, aren't they?
Yeah. Are you ever going to get anything from Ibon, or probably not?
I'm sure eventually I'm going to pick something up.
Yeah.
But I'm going to wait until maybe we get like a collector's edition of it, or like a bunch of things all together, and like a
I'm the same way.
Maybe like a big hardbound thing or something.
I'm sure it'll happen. I want to read their comics, but it's one of those things where if they were available,
like in
my local comic shop, I'd be all over it. But the fact that you got to order each issue online and all that, it's too much to keep up with.
Yeah, I'll wait for like a graphic novel or something.
Yeah, definitely, and they'll put it out, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then the next thing is Netflix announced a new series called Little Evil.
Yeah,
about a couple whose son is like the devil or something.
That could either be really good or extremely cheesy.
I'm expecting bad things, but then again, it is Netflix and they have a good track record, so.
Yeah.
But it just seems, I don't know.
It just the idea, like even when you think back to The Omen, for example, it could go really cheesy.
Yeah.
Just the idea of kind of like the Antichrist as a kid.
Yeah. I mean, straight up, I'm not really excited for it really at all.
Yeah. I'll watch it, when it comes out. I'll give it a 3-episode try. If I like it, I'll keep going. But
yeah, it's one of those things where thank God it's on Netflix and you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. It's not something I'd seek out unless I'd heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Yeah. Now this next piece of news, I haven't checked out the trailer for it, but it's something you're really excited about. They just released a trailer for the English remake of Inside.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't... That's one of those movies, let's be honest, it doesn't need remaking.
Not at all, but oddly enough, I'd rather see this than the English remake of Martyrs for some reason.
Yeah.
It's... None of them are really
I see
needed,
what you mean.
But...
Yeah. It can fit in more to, almost like a... I don't want to say a Western audience, but it could be more applicable to, a Western sensibilities and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Than something like Martyrs,
the story's a lot more simple, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Martyrs is almost untouchable because it's such a complex story. It's done in such a dark, gritty way, and there's stuff in it that you just can't get away with here in America.
Yeah.
But Inside, that could be done in English. I don't know why you'd really want to, but it could be done. So it is whatever. I'll check it out. But one thing that bugs me about Inside is you have the DVD, right?
Yeah.
Dude, the black levels on that DVD are awful, man.
I know what you mean.
It's weird. It's like I never noticed that stuff before.
Yeah.
Like with DVDs, but I don't know if it's because I'm spoiled with Blu-ray or what, but sometimes when I pop that at 7, like inside, like the blacks are so crushed that it's so distracting, and that's one of the things that really bug me about inside.
Well, it's like the other week when we did Maniac, and I watched the DVD, and I was just so disappointed by what I was seeing.
Oh, yeah. So
and
I
love
copy of it.
Yeah, I love the movie, but I'd never upgraded.
Yeah.
And I watched it again. I was just kind of like, well, damn. It didn't look good at all. It looked murky, and it was just kind of bad.
Inside deserves a Blu-ray.
It does. It does.
What they need to do is, I think, one of these companies should, although I'm sure different companies own them all, but they should do a French Extreme box set.
That would be cool.
Because I don't think any of those movies have a Blu-ray except Martyrs, and that Blu-ray ain't even available in Region 1,
No.
They should, and them, I don't think is even available at all.
I don't think so.
They should do a French Extreme box set with a Blu-ray copy of them, Martyrs, High Tension. Well, actually, High Tension has a Blu-ray release.
Yeah, pretty decent release, actually.
Yeah, I actually love that movie, man. I hear a lot of people say that's their least favorite of all the French Extreme movies.
Well, I think it's the most accessible.
Yeah.
It
was the most mainstream.
Yeah. So I think that's probably a lot of what it is with people.
Yeah, you remember that was the only one you'd see in video stores?
I
remember seeing that everywhere.
Yeah,
but
and
you couldn't really find Martyrs. Well, actually, Martyrs was around a lot back then, too.
Yeah, honestly, the first time I saw Martyrs, I got it from Blockbuster.
Oh, rented it?
Yeah.
Did it blow you away first time you saw it?
The first time I saw it, I finished watching it, and I just stopped.
Yeah, it makes you feel weird, man.
And I was just like, I was like, I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah, that movie's almost too tense for me, you know what I mean? You feel real amped up after you're done watching it,
Yeah,
real tense.
And the fact of the matter is also, the effects in it are just so good. I mean, when you get the flayed chick at the end, and it's you're like, damn, that's what someone would look like without skin.
Yeah, and that thing they got with the metal helmet on her and everything, and
that was just
brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Even watching what they're eating and stuff, when they got her chained up with food, that's a brutal movie.
It is, definitely. I mean, that's one of those ones. I think every horror fan needs to see it.
Oh, definitely.
But I think it's one of those movies that not every horror fan would want to see again.
No, like I said, I've only seen it twice, but it's in my top 5 horror movies of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of the most powerful movies I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, it's one of those ones I'm kind of iffy about watching it again.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know if it'll have the same impact as it did the first time I saw it.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's awesome the first time when you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so I'm not real too hyped for the Inside remake, but I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the Martyrs remake, and that's been out for years.
Yeah, I have the Blu-ray. I've never actually put it in and watched it.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it for $1.
Yeah, I'd pick it up for $1.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm eventually going to watch it, but, the original is just so good and so iconic.
I really like that chick who plays that main girl in Martyrs, too. The one that goes in and starts blowing all the people away.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome scene.
It was. I remember.
Weird as the mom's holding up a rat at the dinner or the breakfast table. Remember? And I'm sitting there what kind of family would do that?
Yeah, I just found it awesome because they go in, they blow them all away, and then for a while it's there's nothing.
Oh yeah, they're just chilling. And then there's the image of that one chick, and the audience is left wondering what the hell is that? Remember the visions she keeps having?
Yeah, those were just kind of.
Well, you find out it's the ghost of the.
Something like that.
Or the woman in the beginning that she left behind.
Yeah, it's just a really good movie. that how could I describe it? That is just kind of I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say. It's like I said, it's something that every horror fan should see.
Oh, it's a staple. If it was a horror class, it'd be one of the last steps, I think.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that everyone should see it, but not necessarily everyone will like it.
Oh, definitely. It's
I think
something like
Go on.
I was gonna say it'd be something I couldn't imagine like a lot of like older people liking, you know?
Oh no. I think everyone who saw it would reckon it's a good film.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be something a lot of people wouldn't like, but would still recognize as a good film. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you feel awkward watching something like that with your parents or something, or no?
Yeah, probably. Well,
that'd be brutal.
I mean, my mom's the one that watches like a war movie, and she's like, "Oh, all this violence." I'm like, "It's a freaking war movie. Of course, there's going to be violence."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Does your dad like horror or not really?
Not really. I'm pretty much the only one that's a big horror fan. You know,
Yeah.
I just dig it. It's cool.
Oh, dude, it's life, man. But
Yeah.
last piece of news I have written down is Jeepers Creepers 3 is done, and they're already trying to get dates for a theater release, so they're working quick on that.
September 26th.
That's the date for it?
Yep.
Is that a wide release, or is that a very limited one?
I think it's a pretty wide release, actually.
Wow. Oh,
I'm gonna see it. You know,
I love both of them.
Yeah. So here's something. How do you feel with like the whole thing with the director?
I don't care, man. I mean, I really don't care. There's two sides to every story until everything's laid out in front of me and I'm seeing video and I gotta hear all sides of it. I'm not just gonna go with because you don't know who's bitter and what the deal is. I've never heard Francis Ford Coppola because from what I hear, footage was found on one of the cameras that was returned to Francis Ford Coppola and blah blah blah. But to me, if that was the case, why would Francis Ford Coppola keep lending him cameras, you know? And why would he keep producing it? Even on Jeepers Creepers 2, which was way after the whole Clown House fiasco.
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola still has part of it, so I'm sure there was something weird going on. I mean, the dude is weird.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look at Powder and stuff. The dude seems to have a fascination with, like, weird stuff, but...
Yeah.
I always just what it is. I mean, if you're going down that route, you got to crucify Roman Polanski and all that, and
oh yeah,
I'm able to separate a body of work from a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's something I think that's really important that a lot of people kind of don't get.
Yeah, I'm able to like Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he's killed somebody. You know what I mean? He almost went to prison for life because of it. But I'm able to realize the music is dope. You know what I mean? It's like
well, it's like with Lovecraft.
Yeah.
Lovecraft was like a raging racist and everything, but does that change the fact that his stories are really good? No.
Yeah.
You know.
See, I even go as far to say with what's the dude's name? The Victor Salva.
Yeah.
I would go far to say though they need to release Clown House. You know what I mean? They're keeping that thing not released because of the kid.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
Release it already. You know what I'm saying? They released it on DVD for a week, and then remember the kid was protesting and.
Yeah. I always reckon it like this. You know, he's one guy.
Yeah.
And then you think, how many people work on a movie? Probably.
Well, you heard Corey Feldman talking about Corey Haim. Remember they were saying Corey Haim was getting raped all the time and stuff?
Yeah, I remember that.
It just happens. That's a part of Hollywood. Or, you know what I'm saying? I mean...
Yeah. Well, not just that, though. You know, I mean, like, you got Victor Salva. You know, he's a scumbag or whatever. But how many other people worked on that movie? On any of them?
Well, there was another... What's the other famous actor that played in that? Like, the oldest kid in that movie was an actor... Oh... That Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in it and stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like...
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie?
I don't think so. I think I've seen, like, some scenes from it.
It's badass, man. Besides it's probably the best clown movie. That's why it sucks so bad it don't have a nice release.
Yeah.
And it probably never, ever will.
Yeah.
Which really sucks, because it's awesome, man.
Yeah. And I mean, think of all the people that worked on it. All the people that did the effects.
Yeah.
All the people that weren't raping kids.
Yeah,
you know, whose work isn't being seen.
Yeah, there's a...
You know?
The thing with that whole thing is, too, is it's like, yeah, it all happened, but you might as well release the movie for the people that like it and all that, and people put their time, you know, the film's already done, the money's already been done, I mean...
Yeah.
So if you leave it not released, it's basically like you went through all that for literally nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it don't make no sense, but that's why there's always bootlegs, so I mean...
Yeah, that's true.
But I actually do have 2 more pieces of news I wrote down that I forgot.
Okay.
Now this one...
I got a few things too, so...
Alright. This one you're going to be really excited for.
Yep.
They announced or released a trailer for Boo 2, a new Medea Halloween movie.
Oh my god!
Isn't it crazy? They're making a sequel to this, or it's done. It's already got a trailer. Crazy
they made the first one.
I know. I thought the first one bombed.
Yeah. All I can think is they must be coming from the same.
Really good.
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, you know how they have like Black Twitter and stuff?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
all I can think is like
but that's
it's kind of like also like when you look at stuff that Uwe Ball did, you know, horrible director, horrible movies, but he still kept getting money to make more.
Yeah, like what's that one where he goes postal or whatever?
Postal?
I know he did Postal, but it's a different one where he just like orders all this armor and stuff and all these guns online, and he just goes around town.
Yeah,
Rampage. It was called Rampage.
Yeah,
they made 3 of those things.
I know, and they actually say those are quite interesting.
It's his best series.
Yeah.
And then he's made, 3 or 4 Blood Rains or something?
I know.
I think there was 2 Alone in the Darks.
Was there?
There's a second one, Alone in the Dark, and Alone in the Dark 2.
I never saw the second one.
Yeah,
I knew about the first one.
And then they made 2 of oh my god, what the heck is that? That zombie movie. What's that zombie movie called?
Oh, House of the Dead.
Yeah, House of the Dead.
Yeah.
I actually like those, man.
I liked the second one.
The second one.
Yeah, I found the second one kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The first one was a bit annoying, I found, but he's re-edited it and re-released it, the first one, and it's called like House of the Dead, like the comedy cut or something.
Wow.
And it like plays up comedy.
Is that the cover for the first one is awesome.
It is.
I love that cover. It's almost freaky looking. It has that red tinted zombie.
Yeah.
And it's all black and it's like in a keyhole or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was a fun movie, but it's not good.
No, I mean
no one's going to accuse it of being good.
No, they like freeze frame it like Matrix style in the middle of action scenes.
Yeah,
you can tell it's a direct video early 2000 movie.
Well, it was in theaters. I saw it in theaters.
Wow. You saw House of the Dead in theaters?
I saw House of the Dead in theaters, and. Wow. Yeah.
I didn't think that was in theaters at all.
Well, I saw it over here, so maybe it was just like a limited release or something.
Wow.
But
yeah, that must be a Canadian thing, because I don't think that was here at all.
Yeah.
I think that was an artisan straight-to-video movie.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in the theater, and it was pretty funny.
What's weird is I'd actually like to... It'd be cool to see it in theaters. It'd be awesome to see a really bad made-for-TV movie or direct-to-video movie, like Pumpkinhead 4 or something in theaters.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, could you imagine like if you could like see strings on things and everything because it's blown up so big?
That'd be awesome.
It would.
Well, my last piece of I don't even know if it's news, but I wrote it down because I thought it was really weird. Don Mancini has an idea for Child's Play Nightmare on Elm Street crossover that he's legitimately hoping studios will get behind.
I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah, that sounds
I
stupid,
mean,
man. I mean, I'd watch it, obviously, but
yeah.
with at least with Jason and Freddy, you could understand how a crossover could happen.
Yeah,
And it was actually wanted.
The only way you could really do it with, Chucky and everything would be if you were to bring in, remember in Nightmare, Freddy's Dead, where they had, the dream demons and everything?
Yeah.
Bring in
if Chucky
more
was a
of
dream
that.
Demon?
Yeah, sort of like he got, his power from the same entities or whatever, that sort of thing.
I don't know.
I think that's really the only way you could do it. I mean,
my personal opinion, I think Don Mancini should just pass the torch off to somebody else.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So what bits of news you got?
Okay, first up, I got this, and I have this written all in caps in the thing. Hatchet 4, bitches.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't write that down.
I know.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that, man.
Definitely. I just thought it was
it's
so
done.
cool. It's done, and they showed it. They were going to show the 10th anniversary. They were going to show the first movie.
Yeah.
And Adam Green came out and he said, I just got to say to you, sorry, we don't have the 10th anniversary of Hatchet here. What we do have is Hatchet 4.
Oh, that would be sick. And you know what I love too? Is it's called Victor Crawley.
I know, that's cool.
Texas Chainsaw 3 is called Leatherface. I love that.
Yeah.
And the new Saw is called Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I love when franchises do that, call it the title character.
Yeah. And and from what I've heard about the plot of the new Hatchet, it sounds kind of interesting.
Well, it's a reboot, isn't it?
It isn't. What it is from what I've heard, it takes place about 10 years after Part 3.
Okay.
And the Chinese guy?
Yeah, my favorite character.
Yeah, the one that survived the third one. He's wrote a book about surviving and everything, and then
kind of like Scream 4.
Yeah, and they talk him into going back to the swamp to do an interview, and they do, but then Victor Crowley comes back, and bloodshed ensues.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah,
when
it's
that
gonna
comes out. We're gonna have to devote a whole month to Adam Green.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll have to do Chillerama, the Hatchets,
Frozen,
and then maybe Digging Up the Marrow or something.
Yeah, that I love Digging Up the Marrow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Next piece of news I got is there's a movie coming out called Housewife by the director of Baskin.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah, and it seems like
done now?
From what I know, it's done. I think there's actually a trailer out now. Let me just take a look here.
So you've never even seen Baskin, so you're...
No.
Dang.
But, I've heard people say good stuff, so...
It was one of my favorite movies of the year it came out.
Yeah, I still need to get a copy.
Away.
Yeah. I still need to find a copy, because over here it's crazy expensive.
Yeah, around here, usually movies like that go down to 13 or 14.
Yeah,
Baskin has steadily been $22 here.
That's still pretty good. I mean, over here for the DVD, it's about $54 because it's considered an import.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's one of the only Scream Factory releases that has never gone down in price, though.
Yeah, I mean, all I can think is it keeps selling. It must,
It's such a dark movie. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Such an evil feeling movie.
Yeah. I definitely wanna see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see about if there's a trailer or not. Okay, what else? Next piece of news I got is they've confirmed season 3 of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Season 2 is not even done yet.
Yeah. So I don't care because season 2 ain't even out yet.
Yeah.
And two, I'm I know this is like blasphemy to say, but I'm not even. Didn't care for Stranger Things a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like, it was all right. I liked 11. Like the nostalgic factor.
Yeah.
But I wasn't as blown away as like the world seems to be, you know.
Yeah, I really liked it, and I mean, I really liked it mainly because these were the guys that wanted to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely see that in it.
Yeah, and you can see this is their, this is their it.
Yeah. No, I get it. And like, it was if you could say it's responsible for jumping this whole Stephen King nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Because technically all this Stephen King talk didn't come out till Stranger Things happened. And remember that was like the big draw was, everything here is Stephen King influenced.
Yeah.
Which I could definitely see it, you know. And it's one of those things, I watched it, like the weekend it came out, I watched it all in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I remember enjoying it a lot, but it hasn't really stuck with me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I really dug it. I thought it was good. I'm really looking forward to season 2.
Yeah.
I just think it's pretty cool that, without season 2 even have started airing, they've already renewed it for season 3.
Yeah. Well, they do that with everything. Like, remember, they renew a lot of shows, like 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Like, I think Bates Motel, like, after that first season aired, they were like, all right, we got 2 more seasons confirmed.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, we're going all the way to season 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you got a couple more things here. They're releasing Dead Snow 3, and it's going to contain Zombie Hitler.
Oh, okay. Might as well.
I don't know.
There's so many zombie Nazis out now that they need to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to bring Zombie Hitler into it, but we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, are you actually excited for that?
I'm not really excited. I mean, I literally just got part 2 last week.
Oh, okay.
I got it for about $3 from Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't even watched it yet, but I liked the first one a lot.
Yeah, the first one was cool.
Did
you like Frankenstein's Army or no?
Yeah, I dug Frankenstein's Army.
Yeah.
I liked the creature designs. I thought they were really good.
I don't know why that movie made me think of Dead Snow, though.
Well, Nazi zombies.
Yeah.
they all kind of blur together. Next up, the director of the original Silent House.
Silent House.
It's
With
a
Elizabeth
movie.
Olsen?
That was the remake.
Okay.
That was the American remake. The Spanish director of the original one has got a new movie coming out called You Shall Not Sleep.
Is this all taken in one take, too?
I don't think this one is. I think this is more like a standard movie.
Okay.
But, it seems like it could be interesting because, I mean, Silent House is pretty damn creepy.
Have you seen the original one?
Yeah, I've seen the original. Never actually watched the remake, though. I have it, but haven't watched it yet.
I've only seen the remake.
The original, essentially from what I hear, they're essentially the same movie.
I was going to say
almost like shot for shot.
Yeah, is the ending supposed to be the same, too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the movie was all right. It wasn't nothing amazing to me. Elizabeth Olsen was really hot, though.
Oh, yeah. It's the sort of thing, I mean, what makes it work is the fact it was all done in one shot.
Yeah, that was like the big draw of it.
Yeah, that it was something kind of different, Just 2 more things I got. First is they're releasing the director's cut of the movie Wish Upon.
Yeah.
And it's going to have, get this, a whole extra minute.
Yeah, I read that and started laughing.
Yeah. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you can do with 1 minute of footage. You can't polish a turd in 1 minute.
No.
And from a lot of people really hated that movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see it yet. And
me neither.
That's one of those ones where I'll probably wait till like Black Friday when I see it for like $3.99 or something.
Yeah.
Then I'll pick it up, but I wouldn't pay $19.99 for Wish Upon.
No, me neither.
I mean, I heard it's garbage.
I heard that too. When I saw the trailer, there were some creepy looking scenes, but You know
what's weird too is that makes you wonder how bad the new Amityville movie is. For them to have to pull Amityville out of theaters.
Yeah.
that still show Wish Upon.
Yeah,
and
it
on
does.
top of that, they just pulled Polaroid, that new Blumhouse movie.
Wow.
That had a theatrical release, I think, like a week or two ago, and the Weinsteins pulled it. So that makes you, and the Weinsteins are the same ones that pulled the Amityville, and the same ones that pulled, there was another one they pulled, Rings. But they did end up releasing Rings, but they pulled that too.
Yeah, well, I can understand with Rings. It wasn't a very good movie.
Yeah, well, but that makes you wonder how terrible the new Amityville's got to be.
Yeah, or maybe it could just be like a timing thing, with all like the really good horror that's coming out.
Yeah,
maybe they're thinking, let's hold off until like, a bit like a weaker time, and then we'll be like kind of like the only horror movie out at this point.
Yeah, or they'll probably just wait till January, February. Yeah, because that's what they did, I think, with Rings, was waited until January.
Yeah. Yeah,
those are the dump months.
Yeah. And I got one last piece of news is about Exorcist Season 2.
I'm excited, man.
And there's just this quote, and this is what it says. There's a moment from Exorcist 3 that every horror fan knows and loves.
It's the nun probably walking through the hall.
Yeah. We're looking in how we can get this into the show this year.
Did they say it's the scene with the nun walking through the hall?
That's the one they mean.
Yeah, that scene is so... There's something... It's literally like half a second long.
That's what makes it,
I know.
The fact you don't actually... you don't see anything, and it's just... And the build-up to it, the fact that they're just filming, everything's going on, no sound or anything, and then just... And it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, with Hellraiser... Or not Hellraiser, with Exorcist 3, what cut you like better? The director's cut? That came with Scream Factory, or you like the theatrical cut?
I don't know. I liked...
Because the theatrical obviously had Brad Dourif doing the big exorcism.
Yeah, I thought... I get why they put in the exorcism at the end of the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
But honestly, the movie itself is better as the director's cut.
Yeah.
But...
more entertaining as the theatrical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always been kind of a fan of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, pretty much anything you put Brad Dourif in is going to be cool, isn't it?
Yeah. The one thing about Brad Dourif that bugs me beyond belief is that grim prairie tales. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like an anthology film based in the West, and I think it's Brad Dourif and James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish I would get a DVD release.
Yeah.
But anyways, so let's get into the releases that are coming out.
Yeah, got a good amount this time.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. What have you heard anything about... Well, I'm sure I'll have some of the same ones as you do, so if you hear me read them off, if you got them, just cross them out.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about this Arrow Academy?
No.
I think it's like an offshoot of Arrow, because they're doing all these offshoots now. And it's supposed to be like special editions of movies they think... Basically Arrow's version of Criterion.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, but they got two. Like, one's called Voice of the Moon. That looked pretty good. And then there's another one called Legend of the Holy Drinker. That looked really cool, too. So I'll probably buy one of them and see what's up with them.
Yeah, I mean, if they're... We know Arrow do great releases, usually. Yeah.
And Academy, so I'm interested to see what Arrow considers a great, great film that's not horror, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. And because Scream Factory is doing the same kind of thing now, too. Yeah. Like they released Red Dawn and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then this next one I'm super excited for. It's Warner Archives putting out, called The Hidden.
Oh, I love that movie.
I haven't seen it, but it's got this actor from 6 Feet Under that I really liked in it.
Yeah, the Hidden was a great movie. It really was. It was one I don't know why it doesn't get the love it deserves.
Yeah, I mean, and Warner Archive is they're I really do dig Warner Archive. They put out films that you would never think would get Blu-ray releases.
Oh yeah,
like
they're releasing Innocent Blood.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too.
That's apparently going to be also an extended cut.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I've never seen that either.
It's a good movie. I like that one.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about Warner Archive. They put out a lot of movies I've never seen, and would have never saw if it wasn't for them, like the Abel Ferrara's Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fun movie.
Yeah. And then another big one, which horror fans are really excited for, is Vestron releasing Slaughter High.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the sort of thing I think it'll be cool, but with how much they cost over here, I probably won't be picking it up.
Yeah, they're Vestron releases are even really expensive over here.
Yeah. And it's a shame, really. I get why they do it, why they choose that price point and everything, but I wish, after a while they'd drop the price a bit.
And give us non-eco cases.
Yes.
But anyways, this, I just can't wait till they start releasing movies that aren't on those multi-packs. Literally every release they have is on those $5 multi-pack DVDs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I guess, they thought, like, we'll put them out like this and make our money there, and then we're like, oh, Blu-rays are here now. But we'll make special edition Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Make our money that way, too.
I hope they do something with the Blair Witch series, though, which we had said last time, but...
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe. The thing is, Blair Witch 1 already has a Blu-ray release, and it literally does nothing to the picture quality.
Yeah.
But anyways... And then American Gods. I haven't seen the show, but it's getting a Blu-ray release.
I heard some okay stuff about it. I mean, I know a lot of people really, a lot of people really like the book it was based on.
They do like it or don't?
They do. They seem to love it. It's like a classic book apparently.
I've never knew anything about it.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard about it years ago, but I never read it or anything. But, people seem to really like it. It's a cult classic, apparently, so...
Yeah, what's weird is I went to Books A Million the other day, and do you have those up there or no?
No.
Have you heard of them?
I've heard of them, yeah, but never actually been in one.
They keep, like, important books in the back or whatever, like, stuff like school teachers would get or something. Like, they'll have, like, 20 copies of Malcolm X and stuff, books like that. And I was checking out, and they had a bunch of copies of American Gods in the back, so I was like, man, must be an important book or something.
What I always find funny, though, is, like, when you go in, you see they have, like, 7 or 8 different versions of it, of the book.
Oh, yeah.
Like, 7 or 8 different, like there's a hardcover, and there's, like, a trade paperback, there's a normal paperback, and there's all these ones with different covers and everything. I guess it kind of proves how much people like it.
Yeah. This American Gods, though, is this on AMC, I think?
I think so.
Yeah, AMC's trying real hard to get that next classic, because they had The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And you could tell they're trying hard to get a comic-style classic going again, because remember Preacher? They thought Preacher was going to be it, and...
Yeah.
I mean, Preacher did get renewed, but it's not anywhere as big as... I don't hear anybody talk about Preacher, basically. No. In American Gods, that came out. It was like on the cover of Rue Morgue and all that.
Yeah.
But honestly, I heard nobody talk about it whatsoever.
That's true. I didn't hear anything really. Yeah. I mean, it sort of came and went, didn't it?
Yeah, I think... I don't even know if it's getting renewed or what, but...
I don't know.
It's one of those things that you could tell AMC is digging, trying to find any kind of comic book adaptation to make another classic. Because Walking Dead definitely, I think, is losing a lot of its viewers.
Yeah, I was never a fan. I watched the first episode, and then I was like, that's enough. I don't know why. I just don't like it.
Yeah, me neither. I think it's just because I'm zombied out, but it
could be. Yeah.
I've watched that first season like 4 times now. Every time I go, I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit down and watch it. Mm-hmm. And I'll watch the first season, and I always end up turning it off about a few episodes into season 2.
Yeah.
But I've seen that first season like 5 times already.
Yeah, I've seen the first episode.
Yeah.
Literally, that was it. I had the Blu-ray, and I watched the first episode, and I dug the first episode. But then I came to a point, like, okay, I'm going to watch the next one. I'm like, I don't really feel like it, though.
Yeah, it's just, zombies don't do much for me, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of The Walking Dead, the new season came out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and the actual bus, though, they got for the special edition looks badass.
Does it?
I mean, it's like a zombie with all these spikes in them or something. I mean,
I'm sure it's something I've seen that
from the show, but
yeah,
like I said, I haven't been paying attention to it at all.
No, me neither.
Is that show even going anymore? That Fear the Walking Dead?
That's still going. From what? The interesting thing is that one actually kind of interested me.
Really?
I haven't watched it, but the idea of it kind of interests me. Like the beginnings of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
You
See, with me, it's as far as TV shows go, it's got to be something really, really that catches my attention. Just because on my free time, I'm watching more movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the only shows that really I'm excited for is the new Exorcist, and there's a show called Channel Zero.
Yeah.
I love the first season. It was Candle Cove, and this new season's called No End House, and it's basically American Horror Story, but a little grittier, darker, not as mainstream. You know what I mean?
And a hell of a lot shorter, too.
Yeah, a lot shorter. And I like it that everybody's unknown in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's something about that is always kind of cool.
Yeah, because that's one thing that bugs me with American Horror Story is you see like Adam Levine and all these big name people and stuff, and it just kind of takes you out of it.
I know what you mean. It's kind of, you can't put them like as their characters because you know them as these famous actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this next release, there seems to be a big trend with slimlining these big shows. Like they've done it with Tales from the Dark Side and Twilight Zone, and they just recently did it with Tales from the Crypt.
Yep.
Well, they're doing the same thing now with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Which is cool, but it's like, why? I don't understand the point of these. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's nothing new on them. I feel like the people that would have wanted them have them already. I mean,
all I can think is they're trying to get new fans.
Yeah.
And the idea is you get it all in one reasonable price usually. You know.
Do you think it was they have excess discs or something, or?
That could definitely be the case. I mean, I've heard of that happening before, where we just have too many. We'll get a new type of packaging, put it all in, there we go, done.
Yep.
I mean, it's certainly possible.
For the prices, though, they come out the gate at, well, never mind, because actually that Tales from the Crypt one came out of the gate at like $100 or something.
That was expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the other ones, like Tales from the Dark Side and everything, is like $30.
Yeah, I would say here you can get it for like $25.
Yeah, that's reasonable,
Yeah.
And when you put them in at that price, you can't really complain when you get a whole series for like $30.
No. And then this, I can't remember if we talked about this last time, but the Paul Naschy collection too.
Oh yeah, I so want to see that.
Did you get the first one yet?
Not yet. I still want to pick them up though, because I really dig Paul Naschy.
Yeah.
I actually didn't. I'd never heard of him, and then when he died, I read an article about him in Rue Morgue, I think it was, and I thought, wow, this guy sounds kind of cool, So I watched some of the movies, and he's awesome.
Are the movies actually creepy at all, or are they hokey, or? Because I've never heard of them until Scream Factory put this thing out, the first one.
What they are is like,
I know they're Mexican or something, or Spanish.
They're Spanish, yeah. For one thing, they're usually more, how could I describe it? Like classic horror, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, like he does a bunch where he's like a werewolf. and the werewolf that he turns into, it looks a lot kind of like the Lon Chaney werewolf.
Oh, okay.
And but what makes it work though is they are loaded with nudity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Is
I mean
it, is
so
this, is
so
this
much so that
70s?
there's usually so much so that there's usually 2 cuts of them.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
pretty cool, though.
yeah, and I mean it's just he's one of those actors, I guess. You see him in a movie, even when you see him when he's a really old guy, like he steals the scenes, you know.
Yeah.
He's kind of quite badass, I got to admit. Yeah, so I definitely want to pick those up.
Yeah, I want to get them too. It's weird, but the thing with these Scream Factory ones, you never know when they're going to go out of print because all the Vincent Price ones went out of print real quick.
I know.
But yeah,
I only have the first one, the first Vincent Price one. And honestly, it's beautiful.
I know, but you know the packaging, it's like they're kind of like box sets.
Yeah.
But it's weird, the Larry Fessenden collection, I bought a year after it came out, and it's still available today, and they still got the slip boxes and stuff, so...
Yeah,
it's one of those things you just never know.
Maybe it's just, the subject matter.
Yeah.
Maybe, some things are just more popular than others.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm going to order it sooner than later, though, just to be on the safe side.
That's probably a good idea.
They're not cheap, though. These things are, 60-something bucks, man.
Yeah. So I dread what they're going to be over here.
Oh, yeah. And then, one more I wanted, or not one more, but one I didn't write down that I wanted to throw out that, I actually just forgot, so never mind. Just came in my head and then just went out.
Oh.
But anyways, another thing I've written down have you seen the new Arrow releases?
I don't think so.
Oh, dude, talk about disappointing. It's the worst list I've seen Arrow ever release, man.
Really?
No horror whatsoever. There's something called Pulp with Michael Caine. There's something called the Seijun Suzuki, Early Years, Volume 1.
Yeah. Well, those could be kind of cool. I mean...
Yeah, but, and then another one's Suspicious Death of a Minor.
That sounds like a giallo.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, we're used to these heavy hitters, and then every single release on this slate's...
Yeah.
It's just disappointing.
Yeah, well, I guess you can't win them all. I guess maybe they're waiting for October?
Yeah.
Or something.
One more thing I gotta say, then go on to your releases, is, did you see the whole, what the packaging looks like to the new Children of the Corn release?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it, man. It has a shiny slip cover and everything.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd never picked up Children of the Corn.
DVD?
No, I didn't pick up the DVD, never picked up the Blu-ray.
Wow.
So I'm going to pick this up,
Do you own any of the Children of the Corns?
I've got a few of them, yeah. But, I got...
Did you ever get that collection where it's all 6 of them in there, and they were all in the Walmart bins for the longest time?
No, I got a Blu-ray that has parts 3, 4, 5, and 6, all on, one disc or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
I got that, and I got Children of the Corn Genesis. That came in horror pack.
You almost have all of them. You just need 1, 2, and the remake.
Yeah, part 1 is awesome.
Oh, I love it.
And I've never picked it up.
Children of the Corn I'm a big fan of those sequels for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love 90s, early 2000s direct-to-video sequels.
Yeah.
Like all the Hellraisers and all them.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah.
But on to your releases. What do you got?
Okay, first up we got Ash vs. the Evil Dead 2, Season 2.
Yeah.
That's come out. I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm looking forward to it, definitely.
Yeah, I want to see it. I waited to see it till it came out on release.
Yeah, I wait for Blu-ray as well, just mainly because, it's just easier.
Yeah, I want to see Ted Raimi in it.
Yeah. That's just going to be awesome.
I'm so excited for that character.
Yeah. Then we got the Slayer from Arrow.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna pick it up eventually.
Yeah. I've got that ordered. I'm just waiting for it to come through.
You know what I love about those releases, though, is you don't have to worry about them going out of print or nothing.
Exactly.
That's what I love. Like, see, I'll take my time with the Slayer.
Yeah. Then we got Effects with Tom Savini and someone else.
I remember I talked about that last thing. That whole label I'm excited for.
Yeah.
Bat Pussy and the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah. I think it could be interesting. You know, it really could. I've never heard of it before, but you know.
Well, AGFA is like something kind of like a Library of Congress type thing.
Yeah.
It's like a big cult film thing. Basically the cult version of a Congress library, and then they're associated with something weird, which obviously was Herschel Gordon Lewis's thing. Remember? So it's a cool partnership, and I love that all these companies are doing special edition loaded movies. Yeah. It seems to be. Have you noticed the trend is releasing obscure movies no one's really ever heard of?
Yeah, I like that.
It almost seems like the more obscure and terrible it is, the more it's going to sell.
Yeah, and usually the better the release it's going to get.
Oh yeah.
I always remember when The Mutilator came out a couple of years back.
Oh yeah, like a lot of And then,
I love that movie, but you know,
it didn't. It has a
no one knew about it.
And then same with Blood Rage.
Yeah, what always makes me laugh though about The Mutilator is the cover on the slip cover. When you take the other cover out.
Yeah.
It's a slightly different picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a difference. I don't know why, but there is.
Well, what's weird, man, is I have a movie like that, too. You know that Slaughterhouse?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's Vinegar Syndrome. Yeah, Vinegar Syndrome release of it is the cover of it. You know the cover has the big dude with the axe. It says, Buddy has an axe to grind, a big axe.
Yeah.
Well, the cover, it says Slaughterhouse on the top, and it has that tagline on the bottom, and it has Buddy standing there with his little axe thing. And then you flip the cover over, it has a reverse cover art. The only difference is Slaughterhouse is on the bottom instead of the top. But that's literally the only difference, is just the placement of the title.
That's kind of funny. Ow, my cat's biting me. Hey, stop it! Stupid cat. Okay, next up we have Lucifer Season 2.
I've heard of this show, but I don't know anything about it. I walked by the cover of the first season, and it looks kind of corny, but
I've never actually watched any of the full episodes, but I've watched some clips online, and it seems pretty interesting. I know it's based on the Constantine comic book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's based on Lucifer from that.
Oh, so this is like a Constantine spinoff?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, he comes to Earth and stuff. It seems pretty neat. And I mean, from the scenes I've seen online and everything, it's pretty cool. So, you know, if the price is right, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we got Society, of course, is being re-released.
Yeah, I have the limited one they put out a while ago.
Yeah. What else here? We got 976 Evil coming out.
Real excited for that.
From Sony.
You know that movie was out of print for a long time, and I just looked on Amazon. It's all of a sudden available now for like $5.
Yeah, well, I guess they know that the new version's coming out. Then what else do we got here? We got this movie Lycan coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's supposed to be about some type of werewolf type thing or something. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's coming out. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Then we got this one. It's called Jezebeth.
I've never heard of that.
I haven't either. It's apparently like some kind of like horror thing. It's got like a chick with vampire fangs on the cover. I don't know. I really don't know. So we'll leave that one as is. Then we got the King of Horror collection. I guess it's being re-released. That 4-disc Stephen King.
Oh yeah,
collection.
That collection. Yeah.
Yeah, with It, Salem's Lot, Cat's Eye, and The Shining.
Yeah, that's about as useless of a released to me.
Yeah.
Yet I have all of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing, I guess if you don't have them,
oh, it's perfect.
It's a good, quick way to pick them up.
I think the only way that's going to do good is if, I don't know, basically if you don't have them, and I think the only way it'll do good is if you, like, sell it at Walmart, where a lot of non-horror fans are going to be shopping at.
Yeah, for like $10 or something.
Yeah, or it'll probably be for like 20, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're 4 separate discs, yeah, so probably 20. I think it'll sell because it's Stephen King.
Yeah.
And people think like, oh, Halloween's coming up. We'll get some Stephen King stuff. Yeah. So then got 2 more normal releases, and I got a few in other like companies. We got Sid and Nancy coming out from Criterion.
Yeah. I'm not going to pick it up, but I do like that movie.
I love that movie. I think it's really good. And then we got an anime release of School Live. You ever seen anything of that?
I've never heard of that.
It starts off, you watch the first episode, and everything seems like it's like a little like these cute girls in school doing cute girl stuff. Then you get to the end of the episode, and you realize it's taking place during a zombie apocalypse. And all of this is kind of going on in this one girl's head.
Wow.
She's like going to class and everything, and there's no one in the class. She's just kind of sat there and she's talking to people, but there's no one there because they're all zombies outside eating people.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a little crazy.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't dig it though, just because.
Yeah.
I'm not a big zombie person.
Yeah, it's interesting. Let's say that. Then I just got a few from some other companies. Severan's releasing The Devil's Honey, Lucio Fulci flick.
Okay.
So that seems like it could be okay. Synapse is doing a standard release of Popcorn.
I'm excited for that because I obviously didn't buy those.
That's good, and it's got all the special features that was on the limited one.
Okay, you're just not getting the Steelbook?
Exactly. That's the only difference.
I'd rather have the regular case anyways.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind Steelbooks, but, I wasn't going to pay that for it.
Yeah.
Then from Vinegar Syndrome, we got Demon Wind, Blood Beast, The Woman's Torment, The Corpse Grinders, Psychos in Love, and Primeval and the Lurkers as a double feature. I've heard of maybe 2 of them.
Yeah.
But they're all, they could be good, I guess, in theory. Haven't really heard anything about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we got some Scream Factory stuff. There's A Quiet Place in the Country. That seems actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah. After Midnight, A Dark Song, and The Manster.
Oh, that After Midnight I'm actually excited for, too.
Yeah. And then we got some Sub Rosa stuff. There's the early works of Marcus Cook.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Vampire Cop.
I've heard of that.
And Ozploitation Massacre.
Have you gotten anything from this, what is it?
Sub Rosa?
Yeah, or SRS, yeah.
I haven't. I find it's interesting because a lot of them seem to be like they're going to be like limited to like 100 releases or whatever, but they're all quite reasonable in price.
Yeah.
They're like like $20-$25. Interesting to say the least.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then I just got 3 more. You get there from 88 Films in the UK. You got The House on Sorority Row, Watch Me When I Kill, and Bewitched.
Okay.
Not the Bewitched with
yeah.
But a lot of them I haven't really heard of.
Yeah.
But, it could be they might be good, right?
Yeah.
Just letting people know.
No, I've been interested in picking up some SRS stuff. They seem I don't know like anything about the quality or what the deal is with any of that.
Yeah, I don't know. They could be really good for all I know, but I mean I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So is that it with you and the releases?
Yeah, that's it for releases for me.
All right, man. So it's time for our featured reviews.
Yep.
Let's start off with 31.
Okay.
Now, what's your overall opinion of this movie?
I dig 31.
Yeah.
And watching it again the other night, I was quite happy with it. But it's not without its problems.
Yeah. This movie, it's hard to like this movie, man. It's really, I don't know, man. It's just disappointing, like real disappointing. Like, 'cause I was hyped for this for so long. The premise seemed awesome.
Yeah.
It seemed like a premise you couldn't get wrong,
Yeah. Well, I got just like a list of pros and cons. The pros I got, the gore.
You put it as a con?
A pro.
Oh, a pro?
I thought the gore was pretty damn good. The story was interesting, and the acting was pretty good.
Yeah.
As for cons, though, the first one I got here is unnatural use of shaky cam.
Dude, I hate that, man.
Because it's the sort of thing, it's not the whole movie.
Yeah,
if it was the whole movie, I could live with it.
It's just during the action sequences.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real point. There's no reason it should be there, but it is.
Yeah.
I got that. And then this is my thing here. We were promised more.
Yeah.
We were promised this, like...
unrated, ultra gory cut.
Yeah, and, we got a gory movie and everything, but we didn't get anything... We didn't get the end-all, be-all of, like, gory stuff, that we should have got.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. This thing was, I don't know, especially, I know we talked about this before, but the fact that he took our money for it, too.
Yeah.
And it was just, dude, and there's, like, gaping plot holes in this thing.
There are. Yeah, like how the hell those people know what's going on.
Yeah, that, and I think the dialogue in this movie is awful. I mean, that's with most of his movies.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the sort of thing, I enjoy it for what it is, but it's not great filmmaking.
Yeah.
One
thing I did like about this, though, is I like the set pieces of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like that whole bathroom set piece and stuff. And
yeah.
I do like the character designs to
a
certain extent. Like, I really like that midget.
Oh,
he was badass.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
And the chick I could have done without. That was most aggravating to me because you had the shaky cam.
Yeah.
And in the background, it was just this strobe light going off the whole time. And
yeah,
it was really hard to see what was going on. And
yeah.
then, Death Header, or whatever the dude's name was, the guy with the chainsaws.
Oh, yeah,
the
those
chainsaw
two.
battling. And then there was the shaky cam was crazy during that.
Yeah. Unnecessarily so,
Yeah.
It could have done without the shaky cam, all in all, I guess, he was trying to go for like a more like frenetic type action and everything, but, I don't know. It's just the rest of the movie has been, shot normally.
Yeah.
And then you're throwing in the shaky cam at like the last minute, and it's just kind of like, that's not necessary.
Yeah. And one thing I've noticed too about this movie is there's no memorable music to me. Like
I know.
Remember Halloween had Tom Sawyer when he escapes from the place.
It had God of Thunder at the beginning and stuff.
Yeah, Devil's Rejects has Freebird and stuff like that. And
yeah.
Just stuff like, but there's no memorable music to this, and the score. Like, I don't even remember what the score was like, but...
Yeah, not really. I don't either.
And one thing I do say, the abduction scene.
Yeah.
I love that scene. Like, the way they're like scarecrows or whatever they are.
Yeah, that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I like that. And I wrote down that I love that black dude who was getting the pussy in the beginning.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, that dude was badass.
He really is. I tell you what I liked. I loved the first, I think it's like, 4 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Where it's all in black and white and it's just Doomhead talking to the camera.
Oh, yeah. He needed his own spin-off movie.
Oh, definitely. And then you realize he's talking to this, like, priest guy.
Priest, yeah.
Oh man, and then I just love that part where he holds up like the axe and he's like, I really should have sharpened this thing.
When he said that, one or two whacks or whatever.
Yeah, I was just like, oh man, like that pushed it,
Did it
like
take
beyond.
the creepiness of him away from you though when they were showing him without the makeup, like in normal clothes and he's just chilling or he's there with his girlfriend or something?
Yeah, see, that actually made it a little bit more creepy.
Oh, really?
Because I was like,
that he's just like called into action.
Yeah, they just called him up, and he's like, okay, now I got to go and like slaughter a bunch of people, and it's just like the mundaneness of it for him.
Yeah,
it's like I'm going to work.
What did you think of the ending of this thing, though? How it's kind of like the Leatherface ending of Texas Chainsaw Part 3?
Yeah.
Remember where they kind of like pops up while she's driving away or whatever?
Yeah. What I was always hoping for when I saw this is I wanted her at the end to be walking down the way as it was, and then the car comes up. What I really wanted, I wanted in that car to be Captain Spaulding.
Oh, really? That would have been really cool.
And I wanted it to be kind of like, this is what drove her insane. And she went on to become the character from House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it's like this completely pushed her over the edge, and and that I thought that would have been awesome. Like if like Captain Spaulding and like Otis had just been in the car and they pulled over and they'd been something like what are you doing here or something.
Wow.
I think that would have just been awesome. I get the ending. I get that like you're gonna get like the showdown or whatever, but then it also becomes, Doomhead's whole thing, it's been his job, what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
And he leaves when it says, like, weapons down, like it's over, He leaves. So the fact of the matter is, why would he care enough to try to, like, take her out at the end?
Yeah, it's like another plot hole.
Yeah.
There's something about this movie, I don't know, I feel like maybe his heart wasn't in it or what, because I know he wanted to do a hockey movie, and I know there was he had to rely on fans to give him money for this, and I almost feel like he put this out there just because no one was going to make his hockey movie, and he kind of realizes it's almost like he's bitter that he's stuck in a horror thing.
It could be. I mean, because especially when you look at something like The Lords of Salem, which had the same basic thing, like, I don't know whether it was fan-funded, but, he essentially did whatever he wanted with The Lords of Salem. And, like it or hate it, it's its own movie. It's like nothing else you've ever seen.
Yeah. No,
I love Lords of Salem, honestly. Yeah, especially if you read the book also.
Who wrote the book?
Rob Zombie and some other guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it fleshes out characters more and everything. Essentially, the book is a good companion piece to the movie, because if you've read the book first, or even after, you get why characters are doing things.
Well, I heard the song before the movie even came out.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I really do.
But before we, do you have any more points about 31 or no?
Just, like I said, we were promised more.
Yeah, and there should be no excuse why we don't have a director's cut.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was just, throw in some, like, literal scenes of just gore splashed around.
We kind of deserve it I personally didn't give into the crowdfunding, so I can't complain too much there with that.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for the people that did give money for it, and they still get a Hollywood version of a director's vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the crowdfunding, is to get the un-Hollywood. That's what he said. He wanted the money because he doesn't want Hollywood having their hands in it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The next thing we know, it's getting a theatrical release, and there's no director's cut or nothing.
Yeah, I honestly, when I first heard about it, I was expecting, like a real gore fest.
Yeah.
I was expecting something like, like guinea pig levels.
Yeah, I was expecting something like that, but the movie, it's like, it's shocking, but for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the midget dude and stuff. Like I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Like he's a Nazi and all this and that, but it's like,
I just find it funny that he's like Mexican.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's like speaking in Spanish, and then he's like still doing like the Hitler salute and everything. It's like, really?
Yeah.
I found that kind of funny. He was one of the, I think really the villains were the best part.
Oh,
character
definitely. Well, one last point I wanted to bring up with this too is this movie really is just a showcase for villains, because there's literally zero build up for when all this goes down.
No.
And I literally didn't care about any of these characters whatsoever.
I like the black guy, though.
Yeah, he's the only one.
But he was
other
awesome.
than that, and that one woman that I thought was Iggy Pop for half the movie. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I couldn't stand her character. I don't know. I knew it wasn't Iggy Pop. I was just joking, but it looked just like him.
Yeah. Well, one thing that sort of annoyed me about these people is, like, there's obviously, like, there's no, like we've said, we don't know how these people who are, like, betting on it are, like, seeing anything, because there's no cameras or anything.
Yeah, they're just sitting on a top of a thing, just talking. And these people are getting slaughtered in rooms that aren't there.
You could totally just go and hide somewhere, like on top of something, and just wait out the night.
Yeah.
And I mean, more than likely, especially with the midget, he'd never find you.
Yeah, this movie, it just seems like really rushed for some reason.
Yeah.
Before we move on to Strangeland, I was curious, list your, what's the order of your Rob Zombie's filmography?
For, like, good to bad?
Yeah, for your like, favorite to least favorite.
I would probably go, Devil's Rejects.
For number one?
Yeah. House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
Halloween 2.
Okay.
31. Halloween 1. And is that about it?
Lords of Salem?
Oh, Lords of Salem's up there. Lords of Salem is just before 31.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, your list was a lot different than mine.
Yeah. Yeah, when it comes to Rob Zombie things, I find, some people really dig it and like dig pretty much everything he does.
Yeah, he's a you either love him or hate him fan.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oddly enough, though, I am literally kind of right in the middle, though.
I know what you mean. He can make it a bit hard sometimes, because sometimes you'll put out something and you're just like shaking your head.
Yeah. Well, the list I put him in, I put House of a Thousand Corpses, my number one.
Yeah.
It was the one that put him on the map for me, and I love the vibe, the visuals. It came out at the perfect time too.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was just covers everything about that's awesome.
Yeah.
Devil's Rejects is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Halloween 1.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I do, and it's weird. This movie, the more times I see it, the more I like it.
Yeah. I find that with... here's one, though. Which version do you like? The director's cut or the theatrical?
I only seen the director's cut.
They're very different. Very different. Yeah, very different feels, like, watching them,
What do you like better?
Like, honestly, I kind of like the theatrical cut.
What's the tone differences?
The tone differences are like... I'll give you an example. Like, like when he's in the asylum and the two orderlies are like raping the chick and everything.
Yeah. And they just go to fuck with him for some reason.
Yeah, that scene's not in the theatrical.
Really?
They're just kind of like, if I remember right, it's been a while since I watched it. They're just like messing with him, and essentially he's like had enough of it, and he's like, screw that, dead.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, you can, at least over here in Canada, you can buy a double feature that has part 1 and part 2, the theatrical cuts of both of them.
On Blu-ray?
Yeah.
We got the same thing here for like $10. I'll have to pick it up.
It's worth it. It really is. Even if it's just as like a novelty.
Yeah.
And
just, it's Halloween.
Yeah.
The next is 31. and then it goes Halloween 2.
Yeah.
And Halloween 2 is one of those ones that's growing on me a lot more the more I see it.
Yeah.
I literally hate how they portray Laurie Strode in this one. I can't stand it, dude. I mean, I get it's something different, but when you look at Jamie Lee Curtis, and then all of a sudden you have this chick with, like, Charles Manson on the wall and everything. And
yeah. I think the problem is the difference of her as a character between part 1 and part 2 is so vast, you know?
Yeah, it's too big of a stretch, too, because, like, even in Halloween 2 with Jamie Lee Curtis, it's not like you had her wearing a Sex Pistols shirt all of a sudden, you know?
No.
And,
No. It's like all of a sudden, like, she's gone from, like, little goody two-shoes to, like, punk rock chick. And
except the thing is, though, her transformation into the punk chick is, like, super extreme. Like, like, the room...
I know.
It was too big of a stretch, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like I said when we did the Can We Fix It for the Halloweens. If you'd had her as that character in the first movie, if you'd had her that she knew she was a relative of Michael Myers and she'd maybe like been bullied or whatever as a kid, and she'd grown up with a real chip on her shoulder, then you could follow it, you know?
Yeah. You know what else bugs me about her character, too?
Mm-hmm.
It almost seems like in part 2, it almost seems like somebody like that Rob Zombie would have wanted to date or something. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
It literally almost feels like you're watching a band member of White Zombie or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
I get that.
Even as far
definitely.
as she has little dreads and everything, and
yeah,
I don't know. It just felt like it literally looked like that Sean Yseult from
White Zombie. Yeah, I see. I know what you mean. Definitely. Yeah.
But
they're good flicks, though. I mean, you know.
No, like I said, I like them the more I see them. I think that opening scene to Halloween 2 in the hospital.
Oh, I love that.
It's one of my favorite scenes, and this in horror history. It's just so brutal.
Yeah, it is.
What I love it too is because the Halloween, the John Carpenter one.
Yeah.
You know, he's stabbing people, but you don't see anything like that. You just see the arm go up. Where this Michael Myers stabs the exact same way, you know, just knife down.
Yeah.
But it's just there's so much force and they're so brutal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you get the idea. Like that, the nurse in the beginning of part 2.
Yeah, the black nurse that just
you get the idea that when he was leaving, she must have had no head left.
Mm-hmm.
It was just meat sauce.
Well, you saw all the blood and meat and stuff going up.
Yeah.
And then I love too, and remember when she's running out into the rain?
Yeah.
He's just that whole opening. I wish the whole movie was that tone, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, I think part 2 was what he originally wanted to do with part 1.
But did you actually like it with him without the mask and everything?
He needed the mask.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he looked.
You know,
like a hobo. You know what I mean?
I got why it was like that. I got his rationale behind it and everything. But there's certain things, like Michael Myers is the mask.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
There's a reason it's on every single cover, you know?
Yeah, you know, and I liked the mask when it was, like, ripped.
Yeah.
In part 2, you know, and there's a big chunk missing and everything.
If it was sitting in a house for 20 years, it's going to look brittle.
Yeah, you know, I dug that. You know, I thought that was good. And I think it's the right choice to have the mask in it. I know his original idea was to have, like, all of part 2, you know, he'd never have the mask except for that part at the beginning.
Yeah.
And that would have changed it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those things, though, where I remember when this first came out, this actually was one of the very first Blu-rays I ever got.
Yeah.
Because it had just come out and went to Blockbuster and bought it used on Blu-ray. And this is back when Blockbusters were still around, too.
Yeah.
And, did you guys have those in Canada?
Yeah. Okay. We had Blockbusters.
But anyway, so I went there, bought it, put it in. I remember watching that intro and I was pumped.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be brutal.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of goes downhill from it. It actually becomes boring to me.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And it was almost insulting how they portrayed Sam Loomis.
Yeah, that kind of pissed me off.
It was that.
It's the sort of thing. Had he been like that during the first movie?
That's what I'm saying. It was like a slap in the face because
none
of the movies he's nothing like that.
No, essentially in the first one, he's a bit of a jerk.
Yeah.
But you think, he's got his heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
Where by the time part 2 comes around, he's a complete jackass.
Hardcore, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he's like someone that would literally, like, throw, like, a kid under the bus to get somewhere,
Yeah. That's I wonder, though, if that's, like, I don't even know, like, if Rob Zombie is taking out his unsatisfaction with studio execs in Hollywood and stuff, but...
I think essentially they said to him, we want a sequel, and essentially I think he said, okay, I'm going to do this my way, and they're like, okay, do what you want.
Yeah.
I think part 2 is more representative of what he really wanted to do.
Yeah, because I think the Weinstein Bros, when Rob Zombie brought him his ideas for the first Halloween, he wanted it 2 movies, and they told him put it all in one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they feel like completely different movies.
Yeah, and that's my biggest complaint about the first Halloween, too, is it's just too long.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I always remember, did you ever see the Japanese movie of Devilman?
No.
The live-action one?
No.
What they did there, essentially, is they took, like, sort of, say, maybe 6 hours worth of content, and they crammed it into a 2-hour movie.
Oh, okay. Does it feel long, though, or does it rush by?
It rushes by because it's a really bad movie. But, and you're laughing your ass off the whole way through. But, they tried to push too much in, and I think it's the same with the first Halloween. It should have ended, I think, with Michael Myers breaking out of the asylum.
Yeah,
and then just kind of walking up on the sign that says, like, welcome to Haddonfield.
And then Halloween will pop up and it'll end.
And that would be the end. And then part 2 would have been, the actual remake.
Yeah, that would have been sick, man.
Yeah. It's one of those things you wish almost like you could re-edit a movie.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I like, though, that he followed the original Halloween 2 and his Halloween 2.
Yeah.
At the beginning, but...
Yeah, Well, it was a definite shout-out to the fans.
Yeah, and I like, too, that he cast, oh, my God, what's her name? Danielle Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he cast Danielle Harris in both of them.
You know that I've come to the conclusion, watching those, that Michael Myers loves Danielle Harris's character.
Yeah.
Because, think about it. Like, every other person that he comes across, that he attacks, ends up dead.
Yeah.
She survives twice. The second time she dies of her injuries, but, he leaves her alive both times.
Yeah.
Brutalized and, cut up and everything, but alive.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that character, too?
Yeah.
Is, when Halloween 4 and 5 came out,
yeah,
I was real young.
Yeah.
And I remember liking having a crush on her way back in the day.
Yeah.
And then still it follows to today's time, you know what I mean?
Oh, well, I mean, she's gorgeous. What do you expect,
it's like, yeah, it's like a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, I definitely want to meet her someday.
That would be cool.
Before we move on to Strangeland, what would you, rating 1 to 10, what would you give 31?
I'd give it a 7. That seems a bit high, but
that's what I'd give, like, Halloween or something.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7 just because, hell, just for Doomhead alone.
Yeah.
He's just such an awesome character. And I always think of it this way. if I watch a movie and when it's over, I want to see more about a certain character,
Yeah.
that ups it in my level, and in my opinion. And I'm really interested in Doomhead. I want to see more of him. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to see, not necessarily. I'd like to see the Doomhead character in another story, not a continuation of 31.
See, I would like a 31 part 2 if they promised to have
Give
more
us
of a
give us
story,
what they
like a
promised.
build up or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? I like I said, I would have liked to have seen them connect it to House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like if it was like a big universe.
Yeah, think how neat it would have been if, like, during, like, the Devil's Rejects, that, like, if you were to have seen, like, Doomhead in, like, a cafe somewhere.
Yeah, well, if you want to go that way, you could be Doomhead was... Oh, no, he died in Halloween. Because remember, his character died in that car crash?
Yeah, yeah.
It was that same actor. And
yeah.
that same actor played the orderly raping
that
chick.
He's one of Rob Zombie's guys. Yeah,
But
he rocks though. He rocks.
He is badass. He was in Ray Donovan. I was watching too, but this I'd give this movie an even 5.5. I mean, it's literally average. Nothing about it made me. Usually with a Rob Zombie movie, I could find something that would make me want to see it again.
Yeah.
Like Halloween 2 has that opening scene.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff in Halloween 1 I like, but this one, there's literally, I can't think of one thing where I'm like, well, Doomhead's the closest, but it's not enough to make me sit down and watch it again.
I guess that's what you could say. It's forgettable.
Exactly. And
where it shouldn't be.
Exactly. This should have been, the way the story was set up and everything, it should have been his best movie.
Oh, yeah, it should have been like a magnum opus. You know? Yeah. It should have been like, you look at his career, this is the movie. That's what it should have been.
Yeah. This, it was just a huge disappointment. It's one of those ones, like, I couldn't ever imagine watching it again, but there's going to be a day where I'll probably marathon all of Rob Zombie's stuff, because I've actually never done that. Just marathoned all of his stuff in a row.
You'll finish watching it and then, like, damn, I gotta take a shower.
Yeah.
You'll just feel grimy and...
yeah.
Yeah.
All of his characters feel like they're band members of his, but...
They do, definitely.
And, so let's move on to
then again, let's be honest, a lot of them are probably based off people he's worked with.
I'm sure a lot of the dialogue and character qualities.
Yeah.
But let's move on to Strangeland.
Yep.
What's your overall opinion of this movie?
Strangeland is kind of interesting because I've always loved it as a movie.
Yeah.
But watching it again, I've seen its flaws.
Yeah.
Because it has some serious flaws.
Yeah.
That's
why when I brought this up and you had said you really, really loved it.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised because...
Yeah, the thing is, like what I find is this. As a villain, Captain Howdy is awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I love the look. I love the silhouette. I just really dig Dee Snider's performance as Captain Howdy. I think it just rocked. But all the other characters are annoying and boring as hell.
Yeah, this almost felt like... Didn't this almost feel like this should have been like made for Sci-Fi Channel or something? This almost didn't feel huge budget.
Yeah.
And it had that real specific like 98, 99, 2000 feel to it.
Definitely.
Like I'd put it closest like like Hellraiser, Hellworld.
Yeah.
There's always that look like they just got walked off an Insane Clown Posse video or something,
Yeah.
Like baggy pants, spiky hair. There's just a certain look to that scene,
Yeah.
And it just feels like that.
Yeah. It's the sort of thing. I have a soft spot for it because, Dee Snider rocks.
Yeah.
And the effects were actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And I love the music in it.
Oh, definitely. One thing, too, I wrote down here is I consider this, like, torture porn before it was torture porn. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, this was, like, you could call it one of the godfathers of that genre.
Yeah.
Because that's,
yeah, I definitely
that's
see
basically the vibe they were going for, it almost seemed like.
Yeah. What I think is Strangeland is a movie that could definitely do with being remade.
I'd rather get the sequel, though.
Well, obviously, the sequel would be better. But, I mean, the problem I found also with it was the tech was just so dated.
Yeah, the
like
way
everyone's computer had the same wallpaper.
Yeah. I mean, that is kind of how it was back then, though.
Maybe, but I mean, you would have thought
not the same wallpaper, but I mean, like the chat rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah, but like the father guy turns on his computer and he has the exact. Well, this is something that annoyed me. The father guy is like no, like we got to arrest him. We gotta make it. Like, we got to do it by the book. And then about 10 minutes later, he sets him on fire.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Like, and the funny thing is, with the exception of two characters, no one dies in this movie.
Yeah, that's one thing, too. And one thing I wrote down with this movie, too, is this when this came out, this was probably, like, super shocking.
Yeah.
But you know how many movies have done the whole hanging by your piercing thing?
Yeah.
Since this has come out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can walk into actually any tattoo shop now and see stuff like that and pictures of it. So it's not really shocking. It almost nowadays seems like this movie was, like, trying too hard.
Yeah.
But it was one of the first, do I recall, do it. I think the only other people that did it at that time was Hellraiser Inferno.
Yeah, well, you know what? If anything to be said, Captain Howdy as a character would fit in the Hellraiser universe.
Yeah. You remember Hellraiser Inferno?
I actually liked Hellraiser Inferno.
Yeah, I did too, but you remember the whole tattoo shop and the people hanging by the piercings?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember that whole thing, that whole scene was like a popular deal back in the day.
Yeah.
Like in the late 90s, back when... it's just such a like a nostalgic thing to watch this thing too, man.
Yeah.
It just screams that, I don't know, it just has that look. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
It's I can't even describe it, but the music, everything sounded like rap metal, stuff like that. And
it was just an all around musically. It was a great movie.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, Dee Snider just rocks in whatever he does.
Oh yeah, this blow your mind. They didn't make a sequel to this when this came out.
Yeah,
like this was a big movie
because apparently the sequel is written.
Yeah, Dee Snider, he's wanting to do it. He's like,
yeah, and the idea was like it was going to be like a cult that like followed his example or something.
Yeah,
I think it'd be cool, but
Yeah, one thing I don't know. I'm sure you've had to notice this, but it has that. The chick from Scooby-Doo in this?
Yeah.
Velma or whatever?
Yeah.
That Linda Cardellini?
Yeah.
She's hot, dude.
Yeah.
But this was like one of her first roles. But she actually starred in Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah. I remember that show.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah.
I actually love that show, man.
It's pretty decent. I mean, I never
love the
watched
music to it. That's
too
the
many
best
of
part
it.
To me.
Oh yeah, well, music can really make something, can't it?
Yeah. Like the very last episode of that, like the very last scene, because I saw it after it aired on TV, so I had already known it got canceled early and everything.
Yeah.
But the very last episode, you see the Linda chick, she's riding out, and you hear the Grateful Dead song Ripple playing.
That's
and
cool.
It's actually kind of sad, man.
Yeah. I mean, music, when used right in a movie or in TV or anything, can really work well.
It makes the whole thing, man. Like,
it can, definitely.
If I was making a movie, that'd be like one of my most important parts of it.
Oh, definitely.
Because that's a lot of memorable scenes you remember from movies have to do with the music.
Oh, yeah.
Like that whole, remember, we'll use Halloween 1 for example. Remember when that semi's going into the loading station, you hear Tom Sawyer playing, and
oh, yeah.
Michael Myers, as you just see him walking.
Yeah.
It just matched up perfectly.
Yeah, a good example also in Hellraiser 1 is at the beginning when it opens up and has God of Thunder playing.
At Hellraiser?
And Halloween, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
First Halloween.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just on the house and you hear God of Thunder going and it's like yeah. It just works. And
another fun fact about that is, God of Thunder was the name of White Zombie's first demo.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and on the cover, Rob Zombie's holding a Gene Simmons head. It's badass.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm a huge White Zombie fan.
Yeah, I wonder how long it took Gene Simmons to sue him.
I think he actually did try, but I think there's something was weird to where he wasn't able to or something.
Yeah, I always think Gene Simmons kind of, I don't know, puts like a I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's like, people always talk about like these celebrities are all obsessed with money and everything. You always think it's like like a stereotype.
Yeah.
But with him, it's actually true.
Oh yeah.
Like trying to copyright the devil horns.
Yeah, that was
it's like,
man.
Yeah, I heard that and I'm like, oh, you stupid little man.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That's
like, remember on YouTube those React brothers or whatever?
Yeah.
Remember they were wanting to trademark the term, or they didn't want anybody else doing React videos or something? I
think that was sort of blown out of proportion with that, because I remember watching them back in the day, and I think it was they had like a certain way of doing it.
Yeah.
And that's what they wanted to trademark.
What was the elders and all them doing it?
Yeah, like the way they were doing it and the way they were shooting it and everything, doing it in like a certain like fashion.
Yeah.
But I think people took it that like they wanted to, nobody else could react to anything on the internet.
Yeah.
I think people might have blown that out of proportion, but I don't know,
Yeah. And then one more thing I wrote down about Strangeland is this has like the same feel as Halloween 1, where it feels like two movies in one. You got like the torture beginning half of it, and then there's like the redemption half,
Yeah, and that's one thing that I do always kind of like about Strangeland, the fact that in the second half, when he goes back to being a villain, you can totally understand why.
Oh, yeah.
It was total karma.
And how we're supposed to believe he has that makeup that could cover all that, though?
Yeah, that was kind of funny. The sort of thing is, I wish they'd done stuff with that before. Like, if you'd seen him, like, walking around before, without the piercings in, without the tattoos and everything, and, he'd be like, it's, like, maybe like a crime scene or something, and he'd just be standing in the background, and the idea is, he'd go out looking normal.
Yeah, that's what if I was to do something different, this could have fit in that category too, but that's what I would do with this. I'd make the first half of you following this dude around, kind of like a Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer thing.
Yeah.
And then have the second half of this be the whole Linda Cardellini's character getting abducted by him or whatever.
Yeah. And then, you really see, like, the monster come out, if you will.
Yeah.
And by that point, you've already got to know him as a character.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. I really hope the sequel does happen.
I hope it does. I don't know if it ever will.
I don't think so. I think it's past the time.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think the only way they could do it would be to set it, however many years later it is now. So it's what? It's like 15, 16 years later, something like that?
Or like have him as an old man doing it, or an older guy doing it?
No, just have it like as someone that was one of his victims.
Yeah.
But the idea is that, how he was like going on, like they're just trying to like expand their mind and everything?
Yeah.
That it actually worked on one of them. And one of them has essentially taken up the mantle.
That'd be cool. I'd definitely be stoked, man.
Yeah, I mean, especially like nowadays when, like body modification and stuff isn't as out there as it was then.
Yeah, they'd have to do something more crazy.
Oh, definitely. You could do stuff like nowadays, like I don't know. You could have like, I don't know what you can do.
Body modification stuff just isn't shocking anymore.
No,
everybody has tattoos and piercings now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not shocking.
The only way you could really do it would be something completely like someone with like a literal hole in their head.
Yeah.
With like plexiglass over it so you could see their brain or something.
Yeah, man. Or maybe someone or something like, like there's people that like, this is an idea I'm coming up with now, like something like, hit me in the head with a baseball bat so I have a giant moon-shaped head or something,
Yeah.
Like something stupid like that, but...
That would be pretty funny, actually. That would be kind of neat.
Like extreme body modifications, but...
Yeah.
This, the last point I want to make about this thing, though, is this cover is iconic, I think, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I remember seeing that cover in Blockbuster and stuff back in the day.
I know.
It's just an iconic cover.
Yeah. I've always liked the cover for it, even though back in the day I made a custom cover for it.
Really? Did you put Captain Howdy on it?
I put, the part where it's just his silhouette and he's hanging from his chest?
Oh, yeah.
I put that on the cover.
Oh, okay.
And
I like the original cover, though, that blue print.
So did I. I just wanted to try something a bit different.
Yeah.
And I went with that, and it actually, people seem to like it, so...
Yeah, I'd like to get a poster of this cover.
Yeah, it's a pretty damn sweet cover.
Another cover that'd be cool to get a poster for is like that. This reminds me of too is The Dentist, or The Dentist 2.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, so what would you rate this movie 1 out of 10?
I'd give this one a 6.
Yeah, So wait, you'd rate this lower than 31?
Yeah, I actually like 31 better.
Ooh, wow.
But I don't know. There's just something about 31 I kind of like.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just I don't know what it is, but I just found too much in Strangeland. Too much took me out of it. And maybe it's because, like the dated tech and everything and like the characters that I really didn't like.
Well, that and everything's a cliche by now because everything's been done to death since this came out.
Yeah. Now probably had, we never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
We'd probably think it was a much more...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a movie of its time.
Definitely.
I mean? It doesn't hold up, but it's a movie of its time.
Yeah. It's the sort of thing almost like nowadays you could do that. You could do Strangeland nowadays and change very little except for like the tech, for example.
Yeah.
And it would still work, You know
what I'd do if I was making a sequel to this? Like the show Catfish?
Yeah.
Like those two people that go and figure out who's catfishing who online or whatever.
Yeah.
If like some chick enlisted the help of like 2 catfish style people, and like it was like they were, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
they were like, this person's we think this person's catfishing me. Let's go investigate. And they go investigate, and it's Captain Howdy or something.
That would be
like that'd be a good sequel, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what?
Call it like Strangeland 2 catfishing season or something.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. You know what I'd like to see? What would be interesting? They do something like that, and like the whole To Catch a Predator.
Oh yeah.
So like Captain Howdy would go into a place or whatever, and then what's his face would walk in like, "Why are you here for this?" And he's like, and then he goes into his whole little. I can't remember.
Chris Hansen will walk out. So you like having sex with little girls?
And he'd be like, "Yes," and and then he'd take him.
Yeah, hang him by his necks or something.
And like the cameraman and everything, and they'd be like, "Well, damn."
Oh, that'd be funny as hell, man.
That would definitely. I can definitely see though, like where the style of movie has evolved from that to something like Saw.
Yeah.
And especially like at the end of Strangeland, where he's got that woman in that big metal thing with the spikes going through.
Oh yeah.
They're all sticking there. There's a trap like that in one of the Saw movies.
Yeah, I remember that. It's,
with the spikes going through the 2 people, and it's like if you pull it out, like he'll die.
Yeah.
If he leaves it in, like you'll both live or whatever. Like choose.
Yeah, I'm excited for October to do our Saw show, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I'm excited to rewatch them all.
Yeah.
But before we move on to our last segment, I'm going to give this one, I gave 31 a 5.5, so I'd give this one a 6.5.
Yeah.
You know, I'd watch it over 31 any day. I actually felt something for the character.
Yeah.
It has a little nostalgia factor for me just because of that late 90s feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just a better made movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. I like them both, but I just have a bit of a soft spot for 31 for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. No, I get it. You probably like Rob Zombie a lot more than I do, though.
It's possible, yeah. I mean, I've been a fan of pretty much every movie he's made, you know?
Yeah.
I've been one when people were, like, you know, saying, like, oh, it's crap. I'm like, where are they seeing this movie being crap, you know? It's pretty good.
I don't go that far. Like I said, I fall right in the middle. I don't think he's a god, but I don't think he's complete trash either.
Yeah.
It just all depends.
Yeah.
Now, for our last segment, the movie I'd fix and the movie I'd recommend.
Yeah.
What did you put?
For the recommendation, I recommended Deep Rising.
Oh, okay, I've actually never seen that.
You've never seen Deep Rising? You have to see Deep Rising. It's got Treat Williams in it.
Is this a horror movie?
Yeah, it's
I thought it was like a submarine movie or something.
In a way, it's what it is there's these people find like it's like a boat, and there's creatures on the boat that are eating people and everything.
Cool.
It's a damn fun movie. It really is.
I'll have to check it out then, because
yeah, and literally you can buy it on a Blu-ray with the Puppet Masters for about like $2.
Okay, I've never seen the Puppet Masters either, so
that's pretty good as well. It's kind of like a Invasion of the Body Snatchers type thing.
All right. I've seen both covers. Like, I can picture the font and everything of them and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd go with Deep Rising for my choice for, for someone to watch.
Okay.
Because it's just, it's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie I'd recommend, though, is, for some reason I picked Ginger Dead Man. I feel like, it's a good intro to Full Moon.
Yeah.
It's not as, average as saying, oh, check out Puppet Master or whatever. Because I actually like Ginger Dead Man better than Puppet Master. It's more fun to me. It's one of those things where, it perfectly sums up Full Moon in one movie. Just campy, cheesy, just terrible production values, but there's still something entertaining. Yeah. And it's just, there's so many sequels into it. It's one of those things where if you started off with Ginger Dead Man, you eventually go off to Evil Bong, and then you go off to Killjoy, and blah, blah, blah.
And then, of course, there's the crossovers as well, isn't there?
Yeah, Ginger
Dead Man versus Evil Bong, and it's like, oh, man.
And it's, Full Moon in general is the perfect company to get into, too, because if you really like them, you just have unlimited merch.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, if you like Evil Bong a lot, you got all the movies, you got comics, action figures, shirts, posters.
Yeah. And then there's, if you get Full Moon streaming.
Yeah, you get free movies and stuff sent to you.
Yeah, I got a membership a couple of years back, honestly, and it cost me $60 for a year. And I got 6 Blu-rays and a $20 gift certificate for their web store.
Yeah, I remember when that deal came out. I remember looking at it, and I didn't do it just because it's hard for me to stream stuff and not own it,
Yeah, the fun thing is though, I mean, it's worth
Blue Underground, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have Blue Underground's catalog.
Yeah, they got some good stuff, and what's neat about it is though, you get like 6 Blu-rays or whatever, and
it pays for itself pretty much.
It does. It more than pays for itself because if you reckon $10 a Blu-ray, that's $60 right there.
Yeah, you basically put in an order for Full Moon and got a year of the streaming for free.
And then you also got a $20 gift certificate.
Yeah, but did it take them forever to ship it to you though?
I got the Blu-rays within about 2.5 weeks.
Wow, because usually Full Moon's real slow with that.
Yeah, they were pretty quick for me. And, I got some good stuff. I got some, if I remember right, some Puppet Master stuff. I got the first 3 Trancers movies.
Yeah.
You know,
Classics. Did you get Head of the Family?
No, I was going to, but then I was like, well, I got these and these, and I'm like, do I want that or do I want this? And
Yeah, Head of the Family is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Full Moon's just an all-around fun company.
Yeah, I love them. I give them the edge over Trauma.
I say for quality, definitely.
Yeah.
For passion, I'd give that to Trauma.
Yeah, they're both they're pretty much equal. I want to see that VHS Massacre thing that came out from Trauma, though.
Yeah.
But Trauma, the thing is, Trauma has a lot more movies that are just complete garbage, though.
Oh, they do. They have some genuine crap.
Yeah.
But then again, they also, what's the word I'm looking for? They also license stuff and release it.
Well, yeah, they had like Cannibal the Musical. I think they were the first
ones
that
movie.
To release Christmas Evil.
Yeah, and I got the Stendhal Syndrome from Trauma.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That really, kind of weirded me out, like a Dario Argento flick from Trauma.
Yeah, there was something else Trauma released too that was weird to me. That was, anyways. But yeah. So what's the movie that you'd fix?
I'm choosing Hellraiser Revelations.
Hellraiser Revelations. That's the most recent one, right?
Yeah.
What would you fix about it?
What I'd fix would just be small things, because I actually enjoyed Hellraiser Revelations.
I love that movie, man.
It's
my favorite sequel since number 4.
I like that it went back to the torture aspect.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is, when you read the original story or when you watch the original movies, it was never about punishing people for their sins.
Yeah.
Which is what it ended up becoming.
Seeking it out, but
they were seeking out like pleasure and everything, and like this is kind of like as far as you can go.
Yeah.
And I like that it went back to that. What I would change though is just a few things. One, I would completely get rid of Pinhead.
Yeah.
I would take him out.
Say that opening scene though. Remember where they're in that motel room and it's found footage style?
Yeah,
I actually like that. I actually like the atmosphere of that scene because you don't see his face. Remember, it's like the back of him.
Yeah, that was fine, But once you saw his face and you heard him talk, it was like, no.
And the fact that they just kept showing him, like they'd people talking, all of a sudden you'd see Pinhead in his lair.
Yeah,
just, like hearing what they're saying, and then the makeshift Pinhead it looked really goofy, but.
Yeah, it's
this
sort
movie
of thing.
A lot of props though because this thing was actually written as a Hellraiser movie.
Yeah,
and
that's why it works, I think.
Yeah, and I like it's real contained. It's the one house basically.
Yeah,
and then a bar and a bathroom.
Yeah,
but, yeah, I thought the kids were excruciatingly annoying.
They were definitely annoying. What I would have done though is this, like how the family had the video camera.
Yeah.
And they're watching this stuff and everything.
Well, it was the daughter watching it all. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have had it. They didn't have that video camera. I would have had. When he comes back, when like the son or whatever shows up.
Yeah.
And he's been missing. I would have had him have the video camera on him. And then because you can't tell me that the police didn't watch that video.
And why would they give it to the family? You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Like here, have this video of your son killing a girl and then summoning some demons.
Yeah.
It's like, no. I would have had him have it, and he would have shown up back at the house and passed out or whatever, and like the daughter would have like taken the camera.
Yeah.
And been looking at it then. And that's where, like, the found footage type stuff would come into play.
And this is one of those movies, too, also, that I noticed where all the parents look about only 10 years older than the kids,
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'd have aged them up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, no, I like that movie a lot, man. It's
Yeah.
it
It's one of those
really
ones.
bugs me that movie is shit on so much.
I think, it's shit on mainly because, well, for one, it was rushed. It was
Well,
definitely
they made it
rushed.
to keep rights, yeah.
Exactly. And I think probably had they spent maybe another 6 months on the script, I think they could have got Doug Bradley
Yeah.
to have played Pinhead again. And I think, he would
I
have
think
brought.
Doug Bradley made a mistake not doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, I get his process of thinking, I get it,
Yeah.
but this movie was better than all the past ones he'd been in.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah. Well, he would have got more screen time, that's for certain.
Yeah, like, why would he agree to be in Hell World, but he wouldn't agree to be in Revelations?
I know. I don't get it. I mean,
it almost seems like a bitterness or something. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean,
someone told? I don't know if it was you, but someone told me that they told him he couldn't read a script or something, or
yeah, that was for the new one that they're doing right now.
Judgment.
They said like he could read the script and everything, but he'd have to sign like a non-disclosure agreement or whatever after reading it.
What's wrong with that, though?
Apparently he didn't like it.
Okay.
I think I think
basically
he
can't shit all over it or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
We'll let you read it, but you can't go knocking it when you read it.
It could have been, yeah. I think it was just kind of along the lines of they didn't. I think in the past he'd have been given a script, he'd have read it, and he'd have been like, "Yeah, okay, I'll do it," and that would have been it,
Yeah.
But now they're going on like this don't disclose what you've read thing and everything, and I think it just kind of pissed him off.
Yeah.
I think he thought, he was like, like essentially this is like my character that I've created almost. I've been this character for X amount of years, like I'm not going to go screwing it up.
Yeah.
And you don't got the faith in me to not, make me sign this thing, and I think it was more like a protest more than anything else.
Yeah. And what's weird to me too is Hellraiser is such a big world and stuff, and they've introduced so many Cenobites that do we really even need Pinhead? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean you could totally do. I'd like to see a movie with like maybe Chatterer as the main,
or even just some new Cenobites.
You
know what I mean? Just keep the story the same. Just introduce maybe some new ones.
That would be cool. Definitely.
Or maybe some more stuff with the surgeon or something, or.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's so much. It's such a big world. You could literally do anything. You don't need Pinhead. In all reality, in all the comics and stuff, there's a female version. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
they could go the female route.
Yeah, they turned Kirsty Cotton into the new Pinhead.
That's the comics.
That was kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, the movie I'd fix. I'm picking the same one as Ginger Dead Man, and not. Just because I would love to see a version of it taken seriously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like Leprechaun, and I'm trying to think if there's another version or another example. But Leprechaun, it's goofy as hell.
Yeah.
But they still took that first one serious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's still they were making it as it was like a legitimate horror movie.
Yeah.
Like Ginger Dead Man, like right off the bat. They take it jokey. It's Gary Busey and his wisecracking. And it's just retarded. But, it's weird. I still say I recommend it just because it's a good introduction, but I'd like to fix it just to see it serious and, see a gingerbread cookie stalking around a house or something, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, think of like in Krampus.
Yeah.
Where they have that like a killer gingerbread guy in there, so like he doesn't do much, but
it was like a different feel though. Like Ginger Dead Man's more rough, you know what I mean? Like a Chucky basically.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like you can do, like what's the word I'm looking for? Not like a darker version, but you can do like a more serious take on it. Because I mean, the thought of something that you make to eat that comes alive and tries to kill you.
Yeah. No, I don't think
that's like an inherently creepy idea.
Yeah. I'd just love to see it taken like real seriously, just to see what it would be like, like real dark, ominous music.
That would be cool. Brooding music, and it's like a shadow appear on the wall, and then
and maybe only give them maybe give them one or two one-liners tops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, just have them stalking around and stuff.
That could be neat.
Yeah.
That could be really neat.
But anyways, so that concludes our episode 6 Tumbling Podcast of Flesh. This is Corey's Crypt.
And this is BDG Reviews.
And we'll be back recording an episode next Saturday of Salem's Lot.
Yep.
So that'll be real interesting.
Yep.
And then after that, it'll be our It episode, which...
Yeah. I'm so looking forward.
Then we'll probably conclude it with Cat's Eye and maybe pair it with something else,
Yeah.
Maybe Graveyard Shift or something like that.
That'd be cool.
Ah, man.
Yeah.